Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome once again for more Mass Effect Mondays. Oh, and we just, we're on Omega, but I should have put us in the nightclub, so just on the starting soon screen, you could just hear, like, the doof, 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 doof. Oh, we're in. Thank you, Red Heart Shadow and Deoxys, for joining. It won't be straight away, no, it will be part of Morin. No, Morin will be, like, at the end of Samara's, loyalty mission, which all of them so far on stream have been half an hour to an hour long, and we're pretty much gonna like see if Karl wants to join, and then just like we'll be doing the loyalty mission pretty much straight away. Oh shit. Well, that sucks, Shadow. Hope it's not too bad or anything, but I'm hoping you get to stumble around and just like manage to make it for snoo time. At least, you know, I've been good right now with getting like the what you call it, the stream archives actually going out every day right now. So like, you know, at least there's that opportunity to go and watch it. I mean, right now it'll probably still be a couple of weeks away, I believe, because I've until next Thursday still scheduled, and then a few more episodes of other stuff that yet to be scheduled before this. So it's probably a couple of weeks away from being uploaded. I don't want to spam too many episodes all in one. I feel like one a day is enough to not piss people off or anything. Because I know the majority of people that are like on my my sub for the YouTube channel are just like actively ignoring it because they don't want to. They never signed up for that content, which is fair enough. But it's, you know, it's sitting there. I might as well use it for something. The competitive Pokemon grind is going better. I want to say we were a little bit more successful. The last couple of times I did battles because I have succumbed. I've got an Urshifu Rapid Strike and an Ogerpon Water, both in my squad at the moment. I maybe should have thought about the fact that they're both water types, because they're the only two strong Pokemon I've got on the team, but I'm generally running them with, what are the other two? I'll pull in like an Arcanine and a Sableye, and then, what else? Like, Chargebug and Sylveon. I'm using one of those two pairs with those two, and it's, I think I've won like 5 out of the last 6 matches I've done with that combo. Still in Pokeball tier, but the fact that I did like 50 matches at a 40% win rate, and then we've done, I think it's like 6 matches and won 5 of the last bunch with Ogerpon and Urshifu, so it's getting there. I'm feeling the soul leave my body very quickly, as I'm just like, I guess this is just what I've got to do to win, but I've got to get into that mentality of like, if I want to win, this is what I've got to do.
Arya has work for you.
But like, it's gonna be a while before like someone just is able to just, you know, pull that last piece of Chargebug away from my cold dead soul.
What do you need?
Need to take a look at the datapad.
This datapad was on one of the mercs going after Archangel. They were coming for you next. Let me see. Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
Karl said he'll be online in a few minutes, so
Thanks for the heads up, Shepard.
I'll catch Karl up.
Looks like I'll have to do a little cleaning in my organization.
What the hell is an Ogerpon? An Ogerpon is the Teal Mask DLC Pokemon. So there's like the 3, the like poison type trio, that are like the 3 Pokemon who are like the legendary trio for that DLC, and then the main crux of the story is around like them 3 against Ogerpon, and like how the tale is that like Ogerpon savaged the town, and then the 3 poison types came and like saved it, but then it's like, is that the way that the story really went down and stuff? But yeah, it's basically the signature Pokemon of the TL Mask DLC, and its gimmick is that it has 4 different festival masks. So it has a water type, a fire type, a stone type, so rock type, so it's called a stone mask, and then a grass one as well. That'll dictate what type of typing it is and what ability it has and stuff. Like the water one is water grass with water absorb, and then, you know, the fire one is like fire grass with a different ability. I'm not sure about the other abilities, but yeah. It's pretty strong and very diverse in terms of, like, obviously it's got 4 different ways to use it and stuff. But you've got to make sure that you like have that item equipped on it to change the type, so you can only use one typing at a time. You can swap on the fly or anything. You've got to like commit to one version of it. I think the thing I dislike about Ogerpon the most right now is the fact that it's a physical attacker, and I'm like, I've got a physical attacking water type in Urshifu, and I've got a charger bug that would be so much more useful if it could also power up Ogerpon.
An Asari fugitive is hiding out here. She's an Ardat Yakshi. We need to find her.
I knew it. Nothing leaves a body quite so empty as an Ardat Yakshi does.
You haven't taken steps to kill her?
Why would I? She hasn't tried to seduce me. Her last victim was a young girl. Pretty thing. Lived in the tenements near here.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
where
So,
start
I mean, or whatever, cool. I quite like the idea of the Aria's just like, yes, pretty fucked that there's an Ardat Yakshi out there. Like, it's not great. Like, well, what have you done about it? Nothing. There's plenty of people dying on Omega all the time, and if it's not a threat to me, what's the fucking problem? Yeah, I think a lot of people jumped off Scarlet and Violet pretty quickly. I know most people who I know that played didn't finish it, let alone pick up the DLC or anything.
Lucas, you were so loud then.
Oh my god. I'm
The
going in.
loudest anyone has ever been.
Thing is, I'm talking a very reasonable volume.
My PC turned up, I just did the edit on the
Just
video.
like... I'm coming in. So loud.
Get myself like a cup of tea, but I can still hear you, so you can talk.
Hell yeah. We've just asked Arya about Samara's daughter. And like Arya's answer is just like, yeah, this is where I've last heard of her. Did you not try and like kill her or do anything about it? It's like, no, why would I? She's not been a danger to me.
I respect that. They're like, well, they're not trying to attack me.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Thanks for the help.
There's people dying on Omega
Better luck
all day,
catching.
every day. Why should I do shit about it if it doesn't affect me? Like, I respect Arya. Just,
Work for you. You hear?
I'm gonna keep people under control if it affects me, but I can't stop every murder happening on Omega at all times.
It's fair, but it's not my job.
Yeah. Like, oh, but you run it. It's like, no, I run the things that are beneficial to me. No. How do I get my map up?
You know, I love when you just don't remember. It's, oh shit.
Oh, but I was pressing like the select button, or the view button. It's the select button. But it's the right. It's like R3 on the right stick. It's like, okay, yeah, because everyone uses that for map button.
Who's the first person to like think R3? Let's go.
So I did the classic thing of like, listen to what she has to say, and then go, yep, yep, yep. Ignore all that. Let it just go right out of my head. Right, in the apartments, so we'll go to the apartments.
Location. Under Admiral Hackett's orders, money raised from wedding fees goes to funds for Alliance veterans.
Surely the mission is more than just go to an apartment, right? All the others have been like, you know, at least maybe 20 minutes plus missions. And I know I did say last time, like, I wish we just had more meetings that were just like, yeah, we want to talk to people. Let's listen to this mad prophet.
Here's the thing, though. You will start a firefight because that is Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Do this mission, someone tries shooting it. Right, get him a cup of tea.
Hi, Media Watcher. Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's the Batarian's not wrong though. Of just humans are a blight on the galaxy. Yeah. I know Karl's got a lot to say about that. No, I'll say in a minute when you're back. It's fine. It's just funny based on what he's been talking about the last day or so.
You don't think I've been dealing with this stuff enough already, Lucas?
Just when it's like the
It's still going
Batarians,
on.
they're like,
Yeah.
humans are a blight on the galaxy. And it's like, Karl's had enough of that discussion right now.
I've been getting it all day. Lucas, I just got another message of like, you need to read the books, mate. It's like, I fucking read it in school.
Karl talked about Starship Troopers, and apparently not a lot of people on Twitter seem to understand that thing was a parody.
You also don't understand that movies are different from books.
Especially a movie interpretation that was like, fuck it, I don't even want to read the book. It's the same by title, and that's it.
The easiest way to sum up how like the messaging of Starship Troopers of like just ooh rah rah is
What's this?
like ooh rah rah military first is that it is I made a mistake, Lucas. It's not required reading for the Marines. It is on the #1 suggested army reading list as soon as you join. The moment you join the American military, they just give you a copy of Starship Troopers. Say, "Fucking read this. Read
Jesus
this right
Christ. Fuck me.
What do you think about this book? This book that just espouses like the benefits of military force solving all issues.
The benefits of becoming just a complete soulless cog in the machine of war.
And it's just that thing. That's all that needs to be said about it.
Yeah, and
like,
Helldivers
how a guy
bring
who grew up in like post-war World War II Nazi era Europe took issue with that idea of the only way to solve the world's issues is with total military force.
And
Strong. So I wonder why that guy had like just a pretty poor interpretation of that reasoning.
And decided, fuck it, I'm throwing that out the window. I'm not making an actual like, because you know you mentioned it when we were talking about it the other day of just like, they weren't making a Starship Troopers film. It just so happened to have so many similarities that they were like, make it a Starship Troopers film.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then they started reading the book and went, absolutely fuck no, I'm gonna just make my own shit.
And just for some reason, and I think that sums up why people do it, is because it's like, just, it's, do you know what it is? It is.
Such as this, seeking a
It's
better
Ready
life.
Player
And
One
when they get here,
for people who like cosplaying as an army person.
forced into destitution on a world filled with
Do you know
criminals.
those weirdos who
They
fucking
deserve
love
protection.
guns and like cosplaying as an
For
army guy?
survival.
That's why it's like a load of people who've got like fucking swastika avatars and stuff.
Yeah. It's
Is
like,
that?
that's the thing is, very, like, I know for sure that, like, I think I've seen Starship Troopers, like, in the background at a party or something before, but I've seen a lot of clips of it in the last few years. And just watching some clips of it, it's obvious to me that, like, super duper obvious to me that it's a parody.
Well, that's
But
the
I
thing, when
was
making that-
shocked that some people didn't manage to realise that.
Well, I've just finished the edit, and when I was grabbing clips for it, I forgot that like one of the literal first things you see in the movie is them talking about like a televised just murder case, and they say like the quote is, Lucas, a guy convicted of murder, caught this morning, tried this afternoon, he'll be sentenced to death this evening. It's like, just how you can't make up how obvious, like it's so obvious. We caught a murderer, he was tried and convicted to death and sentenced to death in a day.
Also, yeah, Media Watcher, the kind of shit where, like, when me and Karl have mentioned before, just like the goofiness being gone of Doctor Who. I love the idea of watching Doctor Who just run around and do karate on monsters.
It's good.
That should be more Doctor Who.
Like James Bond. James Bond should be sillier.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, The Boys is another great example. Is like, just how do some people not see that and go like, oh, that's obviously a parody. No, some people don't somehow.
What was that, sorry? Oh, The Boys, yeah.
The Boys, yeah.
It's that you can't make anything obvious enough where people won't realise it, because it's like I said, when I was looking through just discussions about it online, see that, yeah, it's every couple of years it comes up and people want to argue, but the universe of the movie is safe. Everyone looks happy. It's like you're looking at the suburbs of a bunch of military brats. Rico's character is specifically said to be very independently wealthy.
Right, okay.
But there's no crime in that universe. The literal opening of the movie is a guy being convicted of murder and sentenced to death within the space of a day. There's no due process in this universe. You need a license to have children. These aren't subtitles. These are things that the screen tells you.
Yeah, it's just... And yet, somehow some people, like, don't seem to notice it.
Or are willingly oblivious to it because they don't want to.
Exactly,
engage with it.
yeah. I think a lot of the people that don't notice it, again, similar with The Boys, is just because they agree with the characterizations.
Yeah, it's like you go look at the, like, I think it's like, is it Blue Hawk? Written to be a cartoonish, like, racist facsimile of the police and their arguments, and you go look, I've got a clip for of his speech, for, like, a video, but it never ended up getting used. Every other comment is someone agreeing, well, he's right. When he's talking about, like, you know, over-policing black neighborhoods. He's like, I'll just go where the crime is. It's not my fault all the crime happens to be in black. It's like,
Yeah.
that. Same like Homelander, of like, Joe, the one where they're getting the propaganda. Of like, oh, they're supposed to be a poor third world country, but he's got a cell phone. It's like, yes, they're a ubiquitous piece of technology that near enough everyone has now. It doesn't mean he's not in like a, like, you know, a bad state.
Where am I going here?
I don't know what you're doing. You're supposed to be looking to get some
We're
boom
going
count.
to the apartment. Yeah, we mentioned it of just like, you know, spoilers. We talked about it for a discussion, for a video.
It wasn't
just,
just
like,
fucking Lucas. It was me. It was catharsis.
it was mostly Karl just being like, I'm going to just rant for a bit, please forgive me. But yeah, like I commented, just for some reason no one seems to get Pulver at all.
He finds it funny though, that's the thing. Like, when he talks about like RoboCop and stuff, he says, I made the most cartoonish example of an American action movie. I turned RoboCop, it's a very obvious Jesus allegory. And I thought, well, what would American Jesus be? It'd be a guy with a gun. He's super, like, just sharp when it comes to that. Just the idea, I made RoboCop into American Jesus, and of course American Jesus has to have a gun and
A
shoot
super
people.
crime gun.
Yeah.
And yeah, just, it's one of those wild things where I feel like as a sane person watching Paul Verhoeven movies, it's like, yeah, obviously these are parody movies. Like, look at how ridiculously over the top they are. And then people just miss the point entirely, and are like, God, this is an awful film.
Well, I was looking at some of the reviews of like that he talks about in his interviews, where someone accused him of being a neo-Nazi. They just heard that he had a European accent and assumed he was German. It's like, oh,
that sounds like an American reviewer, to be fair.
yeah.
I mean, no offense to like, Americans watching, like, it's the, you know, cartoonish, flanderized version of what you would imagine most Americans' responses are.
Yeah,
But the fact that some Americans did have that response.
Because I had like the director's commentary for the film.
Really?
And he opens it up, reading that article.
It must be that I need to talk to this
Are you
woman.
here about my daughter?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, the opening to the commentary track that he
No
did
one
for
seems to care.
Starship Troopers
The
is
medics
him
said it was
reading the
brain
Washington
hemorrhage,
Times
but it's
article
not
that called him a
true. It was
fascist and just
murder.
laughing at it.
Someone killed my nephew. My
Where he's like saying,
family.
look, we made a movie that is directly parodying actual Nazi propaganda films, and they watched it and thought I was being
I think
serious.
she was murdered too. And I'm
What does that
looking
say
for
about
her
them?
killer.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I shot her.
It's so hard.
remember
when
as
no one
well for
believes
this
you.
mission, folks.
I
We
don't
are in
believe-
Paragon mode at the moment.
Are you?
You can use your
One of the
viewer rewards
bravest
to help
people.
change that, or to cement that in even harder if you'd like. However, regardless of Renegade and Paragon options, what we are going to do when we get to the moment with Morant is we're going to save beforehand, and we are going to like actively try and sleep with the person who will kill us with sex. Just because we want to see that play out, and I feel like everyone in chat wants to see it play out anyway.
Sorry about me. I'm still a bit ill. I'm having some nice tea and honey at the moment.
I'm sorry, Karl. I'm sorry about the message I sent on the Discord. I just had to do it.
Oh, what's this?
Just when you were like, how do you like have home remedies for feeling ill? And I was like, the support sausage.
Got the support sausage.
Sorry. I know you don't have support sausage. I can try and just mail Cade, see what happens.
Oh man, like you should get like it's the joke we always make, isn't it? Like, what about if you were holding Cade above your toilet and you dropped him?
Just round the U-bend, like, whoop! Just gone. Am I one of Arya's people? Apparently we are now.
Lucas as well.
I'm
Like,
looking for Arya.
do you always talk about like
Are you ready to
subtlety
answer
being
my
death? Can you
questions?
tell that your
I
character is
don't
mostly
care if Arya
renegade when they've
sent
got
you.
like
You're
the
asking
Daisy
about my
Ridley
neck.
Sith eyes?
The thing is,
No one else
You'd
on
like-
this hellhole station
there'd be
gives a
people
damn that my neck
just
is
be
dead.
seeing that
If you can
and
do
go,
something
yeah,
about
but
it,
Shepard's
I'll
the good
help you
guy,
however
right?
I can.
They'd just see that character and be like, no, they fight for the humans. I'm pretty sure that's a good thing.
There were people who played the renegade version of this game and didn't think there's anything wrong with what's being said. I got a
Yeah, there's a lot of
angry
people who are
message.
like, yeah, of course the humans should take over the council completely. Like, that's the only sane thing to do. It's like, that's the evil option!
So I got one earlier today. So I used the example of, watching Starship Troopers. People have no sympathy for the bugs. It's like, just they're the people who say like kill the Rachni and the Krogan.
kind of a
Someone
Mhm.
legit is like,
daughter?
I can't believe anyone would side with the
That's so
Krogan.
fun
They're a
inside.
warmongering bunch of assholes. You've got to kill them. So someone either didn't play the game or just literally cannot empathize with someone who does not look like them.
She was created.
Even though the
Also,
only
she was a
actual
sculptor.
reasoning they have behind it
Several
is just,
counties were
well, we ran a
interested in her.
simulation and it said they were going to take
Several
over the
workers
universe. So we murdered them all. It's like, oh, God. Yes, very much the people who were like, it's the same with a lot of stuff. I can't remember what we were talking about earlier,
Mhm.
where it's like, oh, this thing has become woke, and it's like, Doctor Who's been woke pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, it's the X-Men.
The X-Men, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, like, surprise, surprise, we also talked about X-Men when a trailer's just come out for that. But yeah, it's like people complaining that X-Men is woke, and it's like, it got created to actively be woke. Like, that was the point.
Was
And
that
that was
this year?
in the, like, what, the 60s or the 70s or whatever.
Around the 60s, yeah, just the nascent civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell as well how passionate I was. I didn't even mention like
Do
the
you mind
Japanese
if I
intro, which
examine
I'm obviously
Neff's
going to put a
room?
clip in of anyway.
Just randomly put it in without mention.
Clothes.
It almost always gets you copyright struck though, because
It does.
it's,
They're really
it's
hard
actual
on that
real
one.
band.
The way it
It's like in
will
Japan when they do
always
intros, they actually use real bands.
My
Mhm.
baby is gone. She's gone, and nothing will fix that.
I'm
Why
sorry.
did this happen?
I can't do
She
the
never
accidental
hurt
Paragon again.
anybody.
We need to look.
We
into
already
Carter's
saved a
room.
woman's life
Nothing
last
will be
stream. We
disturbed.
can't be doing this.
See, I still like our idea that we come up with of
I
you
like
need to have
this.
para- you need to be able
Samara,
to-
just go into, like, we need to look in your dead daughter's room. Nothing will be disturbed. Well, no promises.
It's such a dick move, isn't it?
So we will go in there, but I'm not making that promise. Also, sorry, what were you saying?
I forgot. I was saying like, our idea of you should be able to like have Paragon options pop up that you can fuck up if you
Mhm.
have not got enough points.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Like, just
Try and comfort her and knock her over or something. Oh, I just, still-
you press like the Paragon button. It's like, oh, give her a hug and console her, but you don't have enough Paragon points, so you just fail and just like trip and headbutt her or something.
I'll try, but if my investigation
Right,
requires
Baldur's
it, I'll
Gate
do
is
what I
so
have to
good
do.
because
Please
there is
try.
one option that if you fail it, it lowers your stats for the rest of the run.
I'll examine her things.
And it happens, it's a really early one as well.
Hmm.
So it basically ruins your character for the rest of the run, but it doesn't tell you that it's doing it.
Oh, jeez.
Like, it's one of those things where I didn't notice like halfway through the game. Like, wait a minute, why is my HP so low? It's like a permanent debuff of like 5 to Constitution.
Salary for it,
God.
but I'd never part with it.
Neff,
Random
I'm
note.
sending you this hologram by the Elcor artist Forta.
Oh, can you do the thing where you
His
spin
work
around
is
really fast?
sublime, but don't stare at it too long.
You
or
can't
may
really
go
spin around
mad.
that fast in Mass
I don't
Effect,
want
can you?
anything bad to happen
You not
to
do that in
love.
Mass Effect? I could have
I
sworn
can't
you could.
wait to hear what you think of Forta.
I might be thinking like other BioWare games where you can
It's
do
like
it.
that's kind of the best you can do with Shepard, and it's a bit stilted. You can't do it super fast because then, like, it goes too fast and Shepard starts just freaking out.
Can you ice skate?
How do you mean?
That's where you like you press one direction, but rather than pressing it, you go like you flick the stick really quickly in one direction, so your foot never touches the floor. It's like reset
can
your
have a
walk
look.
animation.
Try.
Read the newest entry.
Cycle 42, orbit
Oh, I've got an
67.
ad, so I can't
She's
see.
going to take me to her apartment tonight.
Oh man, Luke, you're getting ads for big gamble, for gambling shit on your streams. Didn't know you were playing Counter Strike.
Wait, what? They're not allowed to do that, are they?
Oh,
Oh no,
it's got-
it's YouTube which gives you the options, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got an ad on your stream. And it is for.
That's really fucking annoying because like that's one thing that one or two things that I remember immediately turning off on YouTube ads is like no gambling ads and no religious ads.
Yep.
Because absolutely fuck them things. And the fact that Twitch is just like, yeah, no, we're gonna put gambling right in front of your face. Fuck you.
Which half their money?
Read the middle entry.
Cycle 36, orbit 671. Am I a freak? Morinth is a girl like me, and she's definitely not human. Just
Look at her go.
when we
Like-
dance and the helix is flowing through me,
The fact that like it sounds like Madam Web
with a hunger,
was just
a longing.
gonna be like
No
a
one's ever
whatever
looked at me
movie,
like that.
but then it sounds like yeah, all the
Kiss
weird
tonight.
reshooting and apparently like, they've just ADR'd over Ezekiel Sims and it looks like a bad dub.
Yeah,
And they
like-
didn't even give a shit. They've just farted it out because they changed all the references to Spider-Man and shit.
Yeah, the only like review that I think just matters is one from I think it's Adam Ellis, the comic artist, where he said, "Madam Web is the worst movie I've ever seen. Like, no hesitation, everything about it is wrong. I loved every second of it. Highly recommend, 5 stars." Because it's
But
like
yeah.
it's so bad that it's actually fascinating to watch as a tool for how bad a movie can be with corporate and
Yeah.
studio interference.
Like-
It's like a perfect summation of what like a made by committee movie looks like, where all creativity is like hampered.
But like a made by committee movie that was a bad idea in the first place, that then got tampered with again and got like redone by committee from the sounds of it because they had to make like corporative changes based on the fact they were doing different things with Spider-Man. And it's like, so not only did they make a shit movie, they then took that shit movie that was a bad idea in the first place and fucked it up even harder and made it even worse. And it's like, oh my god.
The thing that's really cracking me up though is
Read the
there is
oldest
like the
entry.
theory that everyone that this is gotta be true. That Dakota Johnson thought she was making an MCU movie because when she got cast, she called up like Elizabeth Olsen for some advice on it. Elizabeth Olsen's like, "Oh, I didn't know they're making a Madam Web movie," and it's like, "Oh no, did she take it thinking she's gonna be in the MCU and called up one of her friends?" It's like, "That's not in our universe."
It sounds like that's what's happened with multiple stars, right? Is that they've signed on for, oh well, it's like, it's Sony and Marvel. Cool, Marvel, that's MCU, yeah.
Exact same thing happened to
Michael Keaton, right?
Michael Keaton, yeah.
With
when
the
he was-
post-credit scene in Morbius, it was just like, I just got told to like show up for a Spider-Man cameo thing. I don't know.
Yeah, he told it was something related to Spider-Man.
Close the hollow
If
journal.
they said it was a Marvel thing, they wanted to do a cameo. I said, sure, I'll do that.
She's attracted
Yeah.
to artists
And multiple
creators.
actors have been fooled
Some
that
with
way.
spark
And it just seems
and
like
lies
Dakota
with
Johnson's the one who got
appears.
fooled the
She
hardest.
impresses with sophistication and sex appeal.
I mean,
and she
you know,
strikes.
it's one of those of
The
like,
hunt interests
I
her
think
as
I've come
much as
all the way around on
conquest.
like, oh, Dakota Johnson's been really fucky and weird about this movie.
I
And
respect
the more,
it now.
well, yeah, the more I learn about what happened with the movie, it's like, yeah, I kind of respect her for having the balls to just come out and call them out on it like completely.
Like, what cracks me up the most though is, have you ever seen that legendary like Architectural Digest interview she did?
She kills with sex, and I have no plans to sleep with her.
Well, Shepard, I've got something to tell you.
Caution is wise here.
Oh, is this the moment?
It's no, Shepard just turned around and was like, well, this is gonna be easy because she kills people with sex and I have no plans on sleeping with her. It's like, well, Shepard,
Things you were always scared to ask of another. Her voice whispers.
I've got some news for you. Because when you meet this Morin, you're gonna change your mind. At least I hope we're able to.
She sounds like my kind of Asari.
You joke, Shepard, but for all your might, you will be in great danger. Storming her den would be a mistake.
Shepard is 100% that person who like comes into like chat or whatever and just agrees to the rules and then completely ignores them. It's like, well, I thought the rules didn't apply to me. Shepard's just, well, I thought I wouldn't die while sleeping with an Ordo Yak shit. It's just the, there's no exceptions. It happens to everyone.
You sound like you're working your way toward an idea.
Afterlife's VIP section seems her preferred hunting ground. You must go there alone and unarmed.
I mean, I do not know who this Wolburn Bongle is. Hey, but Karl might.
He's a fucking prick. Well, that's the thing. He's a prick, but you understand his motivations for being a prick. Because he's just a gnome, and everyone hates gnomes. So when you try and be nice to him, he's like, I don't trust you. Which is completely understandable, because why would he?
I'm gonna have to bear that one in mind of just like, fuck Wolburn. I like that. You must go there alone and unarmed. Get hit on by just some Asari. Shepard's like, yeah, this sounds like a Tuesday to me. Just
walking into this place with no
go
gun,
into a
no
club
backup.
alone and get hit
I will be
on.
in the shadows
Sounds
watching,
cool.
Shepard. You will never be alone.
Sounds
This
right.
I swear. But you
Oh,
cannot
yeah, but
barge in with
the
guns
Dakota
and
Johnson thing.
odds.
Do you watch like the
Morin is far
Architectural
too
Digest
cagey.
interview she
She'd
did?
simply disappear.
I don't think so, no.
This is a subtle,
It's this
delicate
legendary
art.
thing where like Architectural Digest will go to celebrities'
Time to rest
houses
it.
and ask
Let's
for
get
like an
over there.
overview of where they live.
I agree.
And most of the
We're
time, a
talking
celebrity is like,
once
it is their
again.
house, but they don't dress it. They get like someone to come in and be like, we're gonna make you look interesting. We're gonna like put books out and stuff to make you look like a smart person and not just like put your TV or your PlayStation on.
Right.
With Dakota Johnson, they walk into a kitchen. There's just this massive tray of limes, like an absurd amount of limes. And they ask her about it, and she just goes, you know, I just really like limes. I love limes so much. And then she had to release a statement afterwards saying, I don't know why I said that. I'm allergic to limes. Just an assistant put them there, and I just panicked.
Oh.
Well, people have like highlighted that and then highlighted her talking about Madam Web, and like she has the exact same intonation. Well, she's just panicking. She doesn't know what to say.
Imagine just like falling in into just lean into. I fucking love limes.
That's what they do. Like they walk into it. Imagine like Lucas, like a food you absolutely fucking hate or allergic to. Imagine walking into your kitchen and just seeing like 40 of them and having to explain why they're there. Oh yeah, this is a scene I want.
But like, surely it's so much easier to be like, this is really weird. I don't actually know why they've put them out. Rather than committing to, I'm a fucking lime freak.
She's trying to act like, you know, it's her house. She doesn't want to admit that, like, you know, just the embarrassment of just, I got someone in to make my house look more interesting.
But like, I don't know why you'd be embarrassed about that, because clearly, like, that is what every single one of those interviews is.
Luca, can I introduce you to a concept called being a celebrity?
I mean, that's and she probably doesn't know how to live like a normal human being anyway, because she's
None of
such a
them do.
nepo baby. Well, she was born in the wealth, Karl.
Yeah, I did like that one of like Bryce Dallas Howard talking about how hard it was to get her first interview for like Spider-Man 3 or her first audition, and then everyone's like, "Your dad's Ron Howard." Like, your dad is Ron Howard.
Oh dear God. Let's see, Forvan, what have you got? Order a drink. Let's go.
I need a stiff drink. Like how your crew doesn't care.
Samara's like, Shepard, you realise that we're going on a mission? Oh wait, oh!
Oh, they poisoned you.
Clearly a lapse in judgment. I hope it was worth it.
What the fuck?
I wonder how like the strongest biotic in the world didn't help.
Just take her easy. Looks like you broke the first rule of Omega. Don't order a drink at Afterlife if you're human.
What the fuck? I do not remember this at all.
Taste of his own medicine.
He won't be expecting you. That's for sure. Give that Batarian bastard what he deserves.
Just some random human turns up and is like, hey, yeah, go murder that guy. just... I was not expecting this.
Again, I kind of respect that.
Yeah. This is the only mission you know. Why is the only mission you know the one where we get poisoned?
It sounds like they were watching cutscenes of Sleeping with Morin on YouTube. In there.
Don't like find this Batarian. Forvan's gonna pay.
Just Shepard whips out the shotgun. Just when you walk into a club as well, just see like just one person on a strip club. It's like, oh man.
Hey Karl, it is a Monday night.
Oh.
That Mass Effect Mondays, that means they've just got like the Monday stripper crew in, like the bare bones. The skeleton crew.
1,000 years as well.
Where the fuck are you, dickhead? There you go.
Right, imagine having. In fact, he served it to you as well, even though you're an alien. He knows he's gonna kill you.
No, humans all look the same. Here.
Do I look the same as every other human? With my glowing red demon eyes? I think you'd remember that one person.
The person with glowing demon eyes and a shotgun.
But you drank? You should be dead. Wait, you don't want me to...
Now, drink it.
No, you can't.
Drink it, or I'll blind you one eye at a time.
Okay, that's a bit of an escalation, Shepard.
Yeah, he's a little bit. I mean, to be fair, our Shepard did actively just say, I'm going to murder this person.
Bastard deserved what he got.
He did try to kill us.
Dance.
If he
Do
shot
it.
at us first.
Dance it off, Lucas. Dance off the murder. There we go. And that girl in front of you is absolutely nailing it.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of Koyova, so I mean, just like they did with Batgirl, and just call it attacked right off instead. It is horribly shit.
It's wild that it literally makes more sense on paper to just delete it forever and just make everyone sign an NDA than it is to just like fart it out onto HBO Max.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, but that's taxes sometimes is weird. Because I remember when I was like speaking to my accountant about it like a couple of years ago. He's like, oh, do you need to buy like new equipment for work? I went, not particularly, no. And you should probably buy some new equipment for work. And what do you mean? Well, the more stuff you buy, the more you can write off. And you've not really bought much this year. Do you need a new camera? Like, not really. I went, you need a new camera. I think you should buy a new camera. Buy a new camera, buy some new monitors, buy some new speakers and hard drives and stuff. Send me the invoice, we can write all that stuff off. Like, I was better off doing that. That's the way taxes work sometimes.
Right. Maybe I have to go to like the VIP section.
I'm sure any section you walk into is the VIP section because you are a VIP.
What do you want?
Someone told me the rest of Afterlife's nothing compared to this place.
Sounds like a smart person. Who was it?
Jarut.
Oh
Go
yeah,
on
it was
in.
Cade.
Word to the wise.
Cade was the one who sent us
Start a
here.
fight.
Cade wanted me in.
Someone attacks you, it's okay to
The thing is,
defend
Cade could
yourself.
get in so easily.
Sneaky.
Like, you should get a doggy door, but you should get one that's like triangular. So I love all those like videos of
must go in
like
alone,
dogs like carrying
far
sticks no
from
matter
the
walk through gates.
Yeah.
Any predator she is
Or is that one where it's like that
cautious.
person just
Pique her
like just
interest
duct
enough that she
tapes
will
like a
approach you.
stick to
When
their
you are
dog's
face to
harness?
face, suddenly
There's a
Oh,
sign
no.
that says
invite you
stick
to
is
her
cheaper than new fence.
I'll follow discreetly.
And the dog just
and
gets
when
like
you're
stuck in the
alone,
fence when he
I'll
tries to
spring
go all
a
the way
trap.
through.
Know this.
Oh, God.
Until I get there,
Um,
you are in great peril. She will be planning to
Like,
inflict
I saw
horrors
one
on you.
not long ago. It's like
If you
this
are not
Labrador trying to
careful,
take a big stick
you will
into
want
through
her
the
to.
door, and it does it a few times, and then like looks at the floor, drops it, looks at the door for a minute, and then like tests whether it can walk through the door still.
Yeah, it's weird when you look at animals when they do stuff like that.
Now, it's like, is it the stick that's the problem, or can I no longer get through this door?
It's like there's a really like iconic image. It's like a horse
started.
that's refusing to move because it's
You only
tied
get
to a
one
plastic
chance
chair.
at this.
Oh,
mistake
yeah,
can
yeah.
lead
He
to
just doesn't
disgrace.
realise that the plastic chair
If
can
you're
move, so he
a
just
bit
stands
unsure,
there.
There's
come
one
talk
I
to
saw
me.
where they'd
I will wait
forgotten
here.
to put the reins on a
And Shepard,
horse,
thank
but they
you.
just mimicked
I don't
having
share
the
this
reins,
burden
like,
easily, and
I think
you
it's
are the
reins, right,
only
which
soul
like
I
go
can
around like the
imagine
head and the
sharing
mouth
it
and...
with.
Yeah, the reins, the
Um,
harness and stuff.
Yeah, so it had like it forgot to put like the reins or the harness on or whatever, and just mimicked holding the horse by the mouth and pulling it back.
And,
And the horse was just like, oh shit, yeah, you're pulling me. Okay, let's go. And just
The
with
real
nothing
fun-
on it, it just went with the person as they're just like holding their hand up in front of the horse, just like that. Like, come on, let's go. Because it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. When I see your hand there and you start moving, I have to move. And not all animals will fall for shit like that, but it's funny when you get to see one.
Like, the real sad examples, that like one that went viral a few weeks ago, and it's like this bear was trapped in one of those like tiny little cages, and it's like been free for a decade, and it still wanders around in a tiny circle.
How do I
It's
convince
like,
her
aw.
to take me home?
She admires strength, directness, and vigor. Modesty, chivalry, or meekness frustrate and bore her. Violence excites her. You've killed
She
Shepard.
wants girl boss.
She'll like
Got it.
that.
She should just look at me from across the room and just see the glowing eyes and be like,
That's
I'm
the one.
intrigued.
Shepard, we only get one chance at this. Any mistake and Morant will disappear.
We've noticed that
If you're the least bit unsure,
Kate's
come talk
not
to me.
shared duties.
I
He's
will
like,
wait here.
he's delegating duties now. He starts barking when he gets alerted, and basically will bark a couple of times to set Oryx off, and then Oryx goes and runs and tries to bark at like the front door or whatever, and it's like Cade's realized he can use Oryx as the guard dog.
Basically, he's just delegating his duties then.
Yeah, he's figured out, well, if I just rile up Oryx, I don't need to do my job anymore. I can just go send him.
Hey, do you know where to get tickets for Expel 10? I heard this amazing Asari say they were her favorite band. I just want whatever she wants. I gotta find tickets.
Yes, he's
Expel 10
outsourced.
is playing
Thing is,
tomorrow.
like, he's literally outsourcing to Korea. I'll tap. Where
She
is this
sounds
Asari?
amazing. Is she here?
She was here a couple of days ago talking about the band. She's here a lot. When she comes back, I'm gonna have tickets.
That guy looks real cool.
Does he, Karl?
Yeah, shut up. Looks so cool.
I'm ready to punch someone, and you're too close.
Get away from me.
Relax, relax. It's cool. I'll step off.
Right, we'll one up the pecking order, Karl.
You're an interesting one.
We've got to just incite violence
Oh,
until
hi.
Morinth
I need
notices
help
us.
right now, and I don't know who to ask. You're human, and you don't look high, so you're it.
I think I'm gonna sock this guy here.
What do you need?
What kind of help?
My friend Moiral is doing a piece on Omega Games. She's hanging with Florid. He's the worst of the worst.
Your friend could get hurt.
Yeah, and she's going to. See, Florid's onto her. His gang is on the way here, and they're gonna make a mess of her.
Oh, yeah.
I have to get a message to her, and fast.
You seem
That
to have
means
a lot
we
of
could go and
information.
murder a lot of
I'm her
people
tech.
and Morinth will
I've been
notice it.
monitoring the gang's comm. The last
Or
transmission said Florid's going
you
to
could kill
splat
them
her.
first and get
Man,
the
I'm a
bounty.
tech junkie. I don't know how to handle this.
Hit 200,000 points. But there's going to be a bloodbath when someone like uses 1,000,000 points and then everyone else has just had loads of points saved up.
And they just
Why
like
not?
you just invite them to come live in your house.
The best part is it's just that a male one one individual Cadbury's Heroes to your house. That's all it is. That's all the reward is. Like, that's the thing, is I genuinely never expected anyone to try. So I hope that, like, I hope that no one gets annoyed at the actual reward of not living with me.
You've got to catch up to me first, because I've got way more than everyone else. Like, the stream's always open on my end, isn't it?
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for joining in, Deoxys. Always nice to have you in chat. You know, obviously I regret to say you will miss Death by Snoo Snoo.
It's just such a dumb moment, I love it. This is where you get to see, like, Commander Shepard's O face, and it's so bad.
Yeah, she is dead. Sorry. I'm Renegade Shepard. I don't have time for your shit.
Lots of money on display here tonight. Good cred hunting tonight. I'll hit him in the
No,
eye.
I know. I hope, like, no one gets, like, this visceral attachment to, like, oh, it's gonna be God's Earth, like, God's gift to man or whatever. It's just, like, it's just a funny gimmick that I thought I'd put in, but... Like, there is a reward, it's just not... I don't want anyone to think they're gonna, like, fucking win £1 million or anything. I'll give you a £5.
A pair of sad losers.
You know, one of the things I like as well is when the Victorians wear a hat and they have got like weird like condoms on their head.
Tougher than you.
Wearing a hat.
Like, you'll see some of them like around the bar. These guys are wearing them.
I love
the idea that Shepard with their bare hands could punch like one of these bird people
to death. Like, she's just made them both disintegrate. The bodies are already gone. Thing is, it could be a signed picture of Cade and Oryx. Signed by Cade and Oryx.
No, I want a signed picture of Oryx that's signed by Cade and a picture of Oryx a picture of Cade signed by Oryx.
Hey. Hey!
I'm a good dancer!
I'll dance next to you. You want to think
It's like
we're
that
dancing together, go ahead.
great Simpsons joke, isn't it? Like, that's a picture of Roger Moore signed by Sean Connery.
I saw one the other day, and it was
My name is Morinth.
Oh
I've
yeah,
been
it is.
watching you. You're the most interesting person in this place.
And the fact that Morinth just looks exactly like
Why
Samara.
don't you come sit with me?
But she just looks like hotter Samara. Like the outfit
Yeah, I don't know what they
it's
do
just
to a
sexy
model.
Samara.
Interesting to talk
Well,
to.
Samara's already like proper
super
star.
sexy.
She's just one person. Tonight
See,
it's
like
you.
Samara's got the more revealing outfit as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I saw one the other day, and it was Matthew Lillard at a fan convention, and he saw like a line for, you know, getting pictures signed or whatever, and started like wooing everyone and celebrating and all that jazz and hyping them all up and high-fiving them. And he's like, oh no, wait, that's not the line for me. Mine's the short line over here, because like most Five Nights at Freddy's fans don't know who Matthew Lillard really is.
They should do.
They should do, but a lot of them are like 15, Karl.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's like his line is like the shorter one with a bunch of like 30 and 40-year-olds in it. And he's like, you can just see that moment of like, he has fun with it and just like pretends to tell them all to like piss off and booze them and that, but like just that moment when he thinks like, yeah, I've got the big line, yeah, everyone, and it's like, oh, I'm not the big celebrity in this crowd of fans.
I know what I like.
Do you?
What do we like? I like fucking Just Cars. See what happened if I like Just
I'm
Cars.
fascinated by Justicars.
I'm not.
But you're an Asari. You must have some opinion about them.
I said I don't want to discuss it.
I know.
I've traveled all over the galaxy.
It changes you, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I like the danger. That sounds like my shepherd right there. Sounds like our shepherd. Just we like the danger. Look at my face. We like the danger.
You're not very good at avoiding it though.
Dangerous places.
Where you can see and do things most people can't imagine.
Yes.
When I travel, I find myself drawn to dark,
Man.
dangerous
I am like
places.
mad disappointed as well, Lucas, because they've we've got the
Violence
first
is the
trailer
surest
out
expression of power.
for the Avatar show, and the bending looks as bad as it did in the fucking Shyamalan movie. And it's like, God damn it, why can no one get this right?
Yeah, I saw one and it was like this, like, you know, 5-10 second teaser or whatever for like, it's coming to Netflix soon, and it was
That's
someone earthbending.
Like, me with the Rock.
Yeah, it was like the earthbender with bringing the Rock forward and Aang jumping over it, and I was like, this looks so terribly bad. Why did you use this as your teaser?
It's so wild that they don't seem to understand that you wanted to move fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, compared to like when you watch the first X-Men movie and like Magneto throws a car. Notice it's a real car
and it's
being
like,
thrown,
but it's really
wire.
like lazily wire worked over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has like no impact. But I compare that if you watch the film Chronicle.
Oh, Chronicles shot really well. Yeah.
When you watch like how the psychic powers in that way, when they like move the cars, and there's a weight and a momentum to them.
Oh God! Like, speaking of just another Marvel movie that had too many fingers in too many pies, of just like because the guy that made Chronicle, very good film with like some underknown actors at the time and stuff. Like,
oh, Josh Trank, yeah.
Josh Trank, and then the next film he does is like Fan Four Stick. And I don't think he's done anything since, because it was like, no, I can't be dealing with this shit.
Since, because he wrote like this long, like, just diatribe about why he fucking hated the studio. It's
Well,
like,
he openly shat on everyone involved, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, way to burn all your bridges, bro.
He burned them fucking hard. It's like, it wasn't just that he had a bad experience. He had a bad experience, and he screamed to the heavens about it, and it's like, yeah, we don't want to work with a person like that.
To be fair though, his vision for the movie sounded terrible too.
I mean, it might have at least been a bit more exciting. Like, that thing is, that Fan 4 Stick, it committed the worst crime of just being boring.
Yeah.
As I continue to, be on the side of, when we were talking about like Death Stranding 2, for example, of like, I didn't like a lot of Death Stranding. I liked a lot more. I thought the gameplay of it was really relaxing, and I used it as kind of like quite a, calming game kind of for me, of just most of the time just walking around with some parcels and avoiding combat and listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching like the ending, I was like, this is terrible. Why did no one tell Kojima no at any point making this? And then, like, but I'd rather have that experience than just a boring nothing like Ubisoft game.
Yep. At least it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather that than Avatar the game.
They get in my head and tear it to pieces. They're in concert soon. Maybe we
should
go
Avatar,
together.
I mean, like the blue
You can lose
avatars.
yourself in the music
airbending
here.
one.
Oh,
There
it's
are
like a
ways to
PS5 exclusive.
enhance
It's crazy.
You know?
I don't think it was.
I just remember seeing it advertised for the PlayStation Home.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like,
PlayStation
really
always just they're normally the one that throw the money at, like, just put the PlayStation logo at the start of your adverts, like start your trailers.
Yeah, Fan 4 Stick didn't look great. It's really fun though, because it's so messed up that someone pointed out of like, they just didn't understand like the dates in this movie. Like, the basic stuff, like just getting a timeline sorted.
Right.
So, for example, like in the opening scene where you see Ben Grimm,
Know anything about art?
It speaks to the darkest
it's
places
like
in me.
if you go by the
about
timeline
you?
established in the film, he should be 22 years old in that scene when he's like obviously like 11-year-old in school. It's like just hilarious stuff like that, or the fact that if you watch the movie, Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm never talk to each other.
Is it one of those weird ones of like Frodo and Legolas never share a word together and whatnot?
Yeah. Or like when you watch like Batman versus Superman and Superman and Wonder Woman never talk to each other.
He's sublime. Art comes in many varieties.
And they did, but they just didn't get put in the film.
Not on screen now. Only in ADR lines. Like that. It's just, I do love how everyone's just recontextualized that last moment where it's just Miles Teller just leaning over to Ben Grimm being like, because it's just such a shit moment where it's like, what should we call ourselves? The Fantastic Four.
The Fan 4 Stick. I did find it interesting that I didn't see anyone point out that, I won't mention who the actors are, I guess, in case anyone's not trying to get spoiled from the casting, but like the Reed Richards that they've cast is like, I think 15 or 16 years older than Sue Storm. I didn't see anyone mention that. It's like they've got quite an older Reed Richards, and then a Sue Storm who's like in her 30s, like a nearly 50-year-old Reed Richards, I think.
That's the classic, though. It's like Robert Downey Jr. like nearly 60, and Gwyneth Paltrow's like 40 odd.
Wait. No, wait, Robert Downey Jr. 60.
I'll double check. I'm pretty sure like Robert Downey Jr. is significantly old, so
He might be quite a bit older than Gwyneth Paltrow, but like
he's 58 years old.
Jesus
at the moment.
Christ. Obviously, I suppose like he started the MCU 16 years ago.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow is. Oh no, to be fair, there's like 7 years between them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess just Gwyneth Paltrow looks a lot younger than he does.
Man, like, he looked good for what? 52 or 53 or whatever when they filmed Endgame. Still, like, you know, that's what a black belt gets you, I suppose.
That's how you do it. So that's the Hollywood thing, though, isn't it? Like, men can, like, in movies at least, have like a 20-year or younger girlfriend. It's fine. Like, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I know another one is, like, no one really mentioned that the age gap in, I can't remember what the Silver Linings Playbook or whatever it's called.
Oh, that's
because it's Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, and it's like, yeah, she was a good like 15 years younger than that guy.
Oh man, reminds me of like Bradley Cooper's best ever PR stunt that he did when he had like a new girlfriend who was like fresh out of high school. And his PR team thought it'd be a good idea for him to pose with his girlfriend as like he's reading a book to her, and the book they chose was Lolita. If anyone just like doesn't know why that would be very, very in poor taste, just Google the plot to Lolita.
I certainly do.
There's a reason that it is shorthand for certain things.
Yes.
That's all
The
I'll
book
say.
is very interesting now. It's one I've been meaning to read for a while, but I just don't want to be seen reading it.
Yeah, I've never read it, but obviously I'm aware of like the kind of connotations of the trope, like a Lolita.
Always the thing, and the book makes it very clear that the person who's like the narrator is a monster.
Right, okay, yeah.
But the problem is, it's like a Starship Troopers thing, and people don't realize that it's supposed to be a darkly, like, satiric work. So just take it at complete face value.
I also, enjoy just the fact that, like, it obviously is pretty empty, considering it's a 360 game, like, they couldn't put too much detail in, at least in this game. You always find, like, they're pretty generic looking rooms and stuff, but there's just several different ornaments in here where she's just like, yeah, this is a thing that someone bought for me. Like, they're dead now.
I love any.
I like just the Krogan one.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Someone just gave me like a big stuffed Krogan.
Just this thing of like, yeah, and she literally just says, yeah, this sculpture has more personality than the guy that gave me the gift.
We've all met that guy.
So I guess it's time, Karl. It's time to talk to Morant, and definitely.
We saved the game.
I've saved the game inside the apartment, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're definitely going to be able to, you know, help Samara right now. Stop Morant.
Clubs, people, movement, heat. I can still hear the bass like the drums of a great.
Here's a pro tip though. If like you ever, you're getting hot and heavy with someone, and they start talking like this, leave.
Is that what you want, Shepard?
If they start talking about like, oh yes, the club is like a haunt, leave. Likewise, if someone looks at you with like cold, dead, red eyes.
Is that what I want? I don't want to be safe now.
I'd rather fight than hide.
Yes. Better to take control of your fate. I've never understood the fascination with
Please
safety.
just insert a
Some of us
biotic
choose
bum
differently.
on my bum hole.
Independence over submission. I think we share that, you and I.
You compare us.
That's the thing as well. What gets me about this they make it so clear that she will kill you.
Yes.
He's kind of meta in a way where, like, they warn you that she will trick you, that you'll think.
Look into my eyes.
Look
it's
at
fine.
like, yeah, straight away she's just like.
Tell me you'd kill for me.
And because you're the main
Immediately
character, you
goes for
don't even have the
brainwashing.
balls to kill you. So you like it's actually weirdly meta in that way of.
So that's the thing. Right now, it's like, oh no, I can't think. Oh no. Oh no, what? We've never had any other options. Oh no.
You. I'd kill for you. Anything you want.
Shh, darling. Just relax and hear my words.
We don't see his Thane's like scoping up the rifle.
Morinth.
Oh no.
Mother. Do
So,
not call me that.
I think we're still
Choose to
okay.
stop being your daughter.
You still do it.
Mother, you made your choice long ago.
I think if I remember right,
My only crime was being born with the gifts
we get the chance to choose now.
Enough, Morinth.
Oh, yeah, and then as a reward.
I am the genetic destiny.
Well, I think you
of
have to
the
kill her
Asari.
and go back to her ship.
They are not ready to reveal this.
Oh,
So
really?
I must die.
Yeah, I think so. Because like,
You
what
are
if you
diseased
kill
to be
Samara and Morris
purged.
joins your team?
Nothing more.
Oh, cool. Let's.
I'm as
I mean,
strong
let's
as
do
she
that
is.
either way
Let
then.
me join you.
Okay. It's a renegade option.
I am already sworn to help you, Shepard.
Yeah, this is it. Look, like,
Let us finish this.
I don't think I've had some like Morinth on
End
the
of the
squad
line,
before.
Morinth.
And they call me a monster.
because you have the choice. Yeah, Morris joins the team, and one of the things she'll do is she'll offer to sleep with you for rescuing her.
Find peace in the embrace of the goddess.
Oh. Okay, maybe not.
That's why you have the option to help. Because she says right there, doesn't she?
Are you ready to go as well?
Well, I'm stronger. I
So
could've
this is
sworn
why we saved. So I'm gonna look up.
Maybe it's like you've got to like, use the
Maybe we've got to pick the renegade option.
renegade option, like, you know,
Mhm.
cut in.
Yeah,
do you, like,
maybe.
Resist the programming so you can actually speak to her.
Yes, exactly. Because that did confuse me of like, oh well, if we fall for it. Okay, yeah, so I guess, not yet.
I want to look around a bit more.
I guess we'll reload. Save 19. See, this is why we save. Make hard saves, just like... Even if we think we know what we're doing, it's so easy to, like, just pick one wrong dialogue option and fuck up the whole thing. And, like, we picked one wrong thing, and that was it. The chance was gone. So I guess I'll just...
Anything you say.
I've never understood
Oh, shit.
independence over submission.
Okay.
So strong.
So we'll go back to this line here.
There we go.
Look into my eyes and tell me you want me.
So this might let you break the
Tell me
programming
to
and
kill
then
for
like
me.
get her to drop her guard and
Anything
like
I
help me.
want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like with the Rex thing of like, oh, well, I thought, you know, doing this thing will help us, and then it didn't.
I'm not the victim you were hoping for.
But you... Who are you? Oh no. I see what's going on.
There we go.
The
Yeah.
bitch herself found a little helper.
Morinth,
Mother.
do not call me that. I can't choose to
Hot down
stop
with
being
Samara
your
at that
daughter.
fucking power straw.
Mother, you made your choice long ago.
This seems to be the same cutscene.
My only crime was being born with the gifts you gave me. Enough, Morinth!
It might be
am the
because I
genetic
accidentally
destiny of
didn't
the
press the
Asari.
first one as the
They are
renegade
not ready
option.
to reveal this.
Maybe you'll like break
So
out
I
of it right
must
away.
die.
Mm-hmm.
You are a
Because
disease
like,
to be purged.
it seemed like she was
Nothing
about to like, have a
more.
conversation with
I'm
you.
as strong as she is. Let me join you.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
am
look,
already
let me join
sworn
you.
to help you, Shepard. Let us finish this.
This feels like
okay.
okay, now you have the choice.
But fuck it. Sorry, Samara, but it is what it is.
We want the snooze now.
Lawrence will be more useful to me.
You will regret your choice.
So, we are actually going to recruit Morinth. And then
Goodbye.
what we will do is obviously, like, get the death by Snoo Snoot option at some point. I thought
Yeah.
it was right now, but it's not.
She says a thank you for
But-
helping
Thank
her.
you, Shepard.
Yeah,
My
just
mother was as powerful as she was hateful. You helped me. Now I'll help you. Let me take
It's
my
kind of
mother's
weird,
place
then,
on your
right?
team.
That you get a replacement that just looks exactly
You
the
don't
same.
seem to care at all
that's the
about
thing, is
death of
it's
your mother.
essentially
should
the
I?
exact
She was
same
dead
like
too long
character
ago.
model with a different
But I'll
personality
keep her
and
alive
different
so you
It's
outfit.
won't have any
like swapping
complications
Rex
with
for
your crew.
Grunt, isn't it? It's
I'm a
like
dead
you've
ringer
basically
for my
essentially got
beloved
the
mother.
same character.
Few people can tell us
I'm a
apart.
dead ringer for
And
my
I've
belated
practiced
mother.
long and hard to mimic her in every way.
Oh, so he's just gonna pretend.
Wow.
They don't. So it's like they don't want to write new dialogue.
Have you absorbed your mother's powers?
Don't be silly. I have a wide range of talents beyond my biotic
I
abilities.
wonder as well.
Acting is one of them. It took years to perfect, but when I was younger, posing as my mother brought its advantages. How do you think I originally escaped from Thessia?
Let me just slip into this horrible uniform and none will be the wiser.
Oh, she goes into a uniform and everything.
So she's just essentially the same character. No wonder they've got the same
So-
face.
This is going to be fun.
I think it might still have some unique dialogue options and stuff.
Maybe. I don't recall it as much, but yeah, I remember she looks exactly the fucking same.
Maybe the new outfit for her will be different.
Like it was like you helped her resolve the missions, like it was resolved alright.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, for some reason in my head, I guess people that play Destiny might be aware of like I heard that Samara voice for a second then. I'd heard like Eris Morn, the voice actress that plays Eris Morn, and I was like, oh, are they the same actor? And it's like, no, the person who played Samara's been in like one random film that's like rated 6.6 on IMDb, and that's it. Like Mass Effect and one other project. But for a brief moment, I thought I heard like glimpses of Eris Morn from Destiny in there.
Well, that's the kind of the weird thing about all the Mass Effect things. We're going to talk about all the time, isn't it?
You have unread messages at
Like
your
they
private
hired
terminal.
interesting voice actors, but it's a shame that none of them went on to really do anything.
There's a couple of people that were bigger names. Like I noticed just then, like Steve Bloom was Grunt.
Yeah. But all the ones that are actually interesting, like when you hear like Morinth and stuff, you're like, oh, that's a cool voice.
But like Grunt's done like performed well, and like Steve Bloom, people don't know, is Wolverine from the X-Men 90s. I'm sure a bunch of other stuff, but like he's well known as Wolverine.
And Sub-Zero.
Oh, is he like Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so I don't remember actually having Morinth as a party member, but that might just be because she essentially assimilates the character of Samara. I might have had her on my team before and just not remembered because there's such a little different. Apart from she's not sitting in the window, she's sitting in the dark. Oh, hey, Samara, you've really given up on that meditation.
How do you like my look, Shepard? Convincing? No one has a clue about Mother. It remains
Okay, so
our
she
little
does talk to you in her actual voice when she's here, but I guess if you've got her on missions,
she'll
she
probably
keeps
just
the
say
Samara dialogue.
You've been through a lot.
I'm always fine, Shepard. I learned hundreds of years ago to look out for myself.
How do you handle such a solitary life?
I get lonely at times. I never really feel the love of another, at least not for long.
Oh man, would you like to hear a great headline, Lucas?
But I want you to know something.
Go
My
ahead.
lovers spent their last
Which is the most
moments
British headline I've
experiencing
ever
pleasure
heard.
you can't imagine.
Man barred from
Yeah.
Weatherspoons won't give
She
up
died
fight to
because
be
her
let
nervous
back in.
system overloaded with an ecstasy so great.
There's a quote from him here. Mark Smith has had to visit the Lloyd's #1 bar Weatherspoons rather than his preferred Joseph Else.
Oh my.
For his breakfast. The bar is 200 meters away from the other one.
Oh no, the travesty.
Why tell me this?
It's just something to think about. You're unique. You've lived through the impossible.
I imagine
Anyone can
that.
survive.
Of like, we just don't want you in this one. It's like, no, this is the one for me. Like, that sums up Britain, doesn't it?
Oh, it's... Actually, we've got to wait.
Do you have any expertise that would make use of the resources we have?
I genuinely
I learned a
thought
few
it was
tricks from
like
a Solarian
almost
and
instantaneously
would you
that
like
you
to know
like
what
with more
materials
either
I
on
need?
the mission or like as soon as you recruited them.
I think just after a while you get the
Well-
option to, and I don't think it impacts your other romance options, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah,
I think you
yeah.
can like be nice to her and get her to like,
Show
you know,
me what it
open
would
up that
take.
biotic vag.
I mean, I do not like the way you
That's what's happening, Lucas. It's happening.
know. But it is one of those weird things of like, yeah, maybe it's such like a different way to play the game that I'm just misremembering in my head.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Shepard, I always
But yeah,
look
she
forward to your visits.
just was like, she literally turns around to you and says, well, you're unique, Shepard, and you never know, you might be the one to survive.
And that's what
But
makes it
now's
so
not the
funny, yeah.
time. And it's like, what do you mean I might be the one to survive? Do you just really want to convince me?
What do you think of Normandy's crew?
They're an interesting bunch.
Because
They're not you.
I bet, yeah, Morinth is there like, yeah, I guess I could sign up for this suicide mission. Or I could just go on to this really unique, interesting person's ship and slowly just whittle away at them. And just convince them that maybe you're special and you won't die.
It's just another way for her to, it's just like, you know,
to live
walk
her
like
usual
Samara.
life, yeah.
Your mother.
Yep, Samara warned
She
you.
was a terrible mother. She did her duty with precision and care, but no love. She taught us how to honor the goddess, to be good Asari. She even tried to teach us the value of self-denial. I was a bit
So
of a
I am very
disappointment.
sorry. It sounds like I've misled people today. It appears as though the death by Snoo Snoo option is later than I believed. But, you know, I did definitely do it on purpose to convince you all to join in today.
Gonna sneak in.
That's what he was doing. It was all the deception all along. I do apologize. I genuinely thought it was around the loyalty mission.
Now you gotta do
People
more
take
in
it
this
hard when
loyalty
they
mission.
disappoint their parents.
My mother disappointed me too.
I guess like a
but my
loyalty
opinion's
mission is the
one
fact you didn't
matters.
kill her.
She was happy to lead a life.
So you
devoid of
literally helped me
pleasure
kill
and
my
then
mum.
die.
So
Yeah,
you
exactly,
don't
yeah.
really
With or
that's a
without
ride or
honor,
die
you're
motherfucker
still
right there.
dead. Take the pleasures you're offered.
Yeah, again, just every line ends with something of like, oh yeah, take the pleasures you're offered, Shepard. Bear that in mind. That's my advice to you. Is later on, when I come and offer some of this, just make sure that you say yes.
Isn't it risky speaking in your own voice, Morinth?
I've spent centuries being discreet, dealing with any bug or probing eye. I've made sure that Edie can't listen in. We're safe here. I just want to be myself with you, Shepard.
And like, end of every line, there's just that little jab of like, just want to be myself with you. You're the special one, Shepard.
And it's gonna work.
It's gonna
What do you think
work.
of our mission?
Of course it's gonna, even though we know we're still falling
I
for
know
it.
I'd like them gone. Once that's accomplished, maybe you and I could celebrate.
Every line, and it fits so well with the character though. Of like, this must be how she lives her entire life, is just endlessly just ending every single fucking sentence with like a suggestive hint, a little line here and there.
And you know as well how many guys this works on, like actual guys in our world. Joe, we had talked earlier about falling for in-universe propaganda.
Don't stay away too long.
Falling for in-universe Aldotyakshi's. Speaking of which, how's our Thany baby doing? Don't worry, Thane, I was thinking of you the entire time.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
If you wish.
The last time we talked, you started speaking about a past event as if you were watching it.
Drell have perfect memories. We can relive any moment in our lives with perfect clarity. It's difficult to control at times.
I just burst out laughing when I saw Thane's face then. Then I had to cough and he zoomed back in his Thane and his fucking swag boy glasses.
It's just, that's the thing, is he's got those fuckboy eyes and we're just letting him cover them up.
The fuckboy glasses. He's wearing sunglasses in the middle of space.
That's actually, he's got the deep, soulful, like, I want to marry you eyes, and then he's got the fuckboy sunglasses.
Oh man, it's like, it really reminds me of one of my
Every
funniest,
assassination
like
you
one of the
work on.
funniest reviews I
Perfect
saw.
detail.
But you know Wesker is an
Every mistake I
edgelord,
made.
like in Resident
Every
Evil, because he
target's
wears
last
sunglasses underground. Like he wears sunglasses at night indoors underground.
And then when you knock them off his face, he pulls out another pair.
I will admit that is one of the ballsiest things he's ever done.
Yeah. I think my favorite one is when I think it's when Jill dies in the DLC when she jumps out the window with him, and like the start of that fight, I think it is, where he like just launches the sunglasses at Chris's face as a distraction technique.
Yeah, and then pulls out another set.
Then he just launches them, and then all of a sudden like is teleported inside of Chris before he knows what's happening. Oh goddamn! I love RE4, but I do adore the dumbness of 5.
Like, number
5 is nowhere near as good as 4, but you know. What were you saying about number 5, Karl?
I think number 4 is like a campy B movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is like the movie that someone would make based on the campy B movie.
Yeah. It's like it's almost as if it's like the Expendables of like, it's not just the dumb action movie, it's the dumb action movie of dumb action movies.
Yeah, number 4 is like the 80s movie with like the dumb cheesy lines in it, whereas number 5 is the movie made 20 years later as a send up to it. Where they've got like, because number 4 you have a couple of cheesy moments like Leon being like, your left hand comes off.
Yeah, nighty night, night. Yeah.
Little things like that. But then like RE5 has like Chris punching boulders and it's still
inside a volcano.
I think it's just so good though, like at the end of it, like finally Wesker's dead, and it's like we shot a rocket launcher at him that hit him in the head while he's in a volcano.
Yeah.
Do you hold the gun?
I honestly expected like the end of the game, but he got better.
Yeah. I expected RE6 to be like, somehow the Wesker returned. And he kinda did because his son returned.
I think Wesker should just come back and he should just say, I got better.
Yeah. Thought you were dead. I got better. There's only 2 people that could get away with that, Shepard and Wesker.
I think if Wesker did it and his explanation was of just like, I ain't got time to explain it to you.
Just if he came in and said, I got better.
Yeah, I want him to come in and just like at the end of it just go, and now I start back to whatever it is that I do and just leave without explaining why. But I love Wesker's voice. We're going to meet him soon. We're going to meet DC Douglas, the voice of Legion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the Wesker's voice actor. We've got 2 of my... We've got, basically in this game, we've got a bunch of my favourite characters in one. We've got Mordin Solus, who plays Blade Wolf. And we've got DC Douglas, who plays Wesker. And Legion.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that they were the same voice actor.
Yeah. You can kind of hear it when he does...
I'm going to keep an eye out for it, yeah.
Obviously, Wesker's like a bit more animated.
The question is, what happens when Legion just presses like the L3 and R3 in Mercenaries mode? Because is it as good as when Wesker just pulls off all the combo?
Just the fact that in RE4, just Wesker could just... He sees a chainsaw flying at his face, blocks it with his fingertips, and just does like a 360 knee blast to the face that just causes everything to explode.
A perfect counter that immediately kills the chainsaw, dude.
But they should have put him in the base game. I wanted to play through the base. I wanted to go fight the bosses with him. I wanted like Wesker versus Del Lago, where he's just like punching Del Lago.
I also didn't realize, or maybe I'd forgotten. I've probably heard that before, but like, just the fun fact of like, Del Lago just means the lake.
Oh yeah, like, it means from lake. It's
from Leon lake. Okay, yeah, okay.
Leon doesn't speak Spanish, so he doesn't know what they mean. So he calls it Del Lago, but they're just saying it's the thing from the lake.
Right, and it's not a monster called Del Lago. It's just from lake. It's just, it's in the lake.
The thing from the lake.
I was just watching more on RE4, and it's just like, oh yeah, just like, oh, and the monster Del Lago, which just means the lake, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's the same thing with like the Novistadors. It just means the unseen. It's just what the Ganados call them. Like, the Ganados means the cattle. It means cattle.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I really appreciate that. Just I don't know what any of this fucking means. It's Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, and it's just the American coming in, being completely ignorant, and just being like, I guess they call the monster Del Lago. It's like, no, they're talking about the lake, you idiot.
I will admit, like, the ones in like RE5 sound a bit cooler because just African words just sound more awesome.
I don't know. I really like the Spanish that they use specifically for a lot of like Ganados and I can't even remember the word you used a minute ago. What are they called?
Novistador.
Novistador. I was about to say Conquistador. And I was like, it's definitely not called a Conquistador.
If they were in the movie though, and Leon's just fighting like Hernan Cortez, just bitch slapping Hernan Cortez for the Mayans.
Oh, I do love this as well. Of just yeah, the whole concept of the Drell of just we see ourselves differently from humans. Like we see our bodies as a vessel, and it's not always under our control. I'm like, that dialogue just like it's the reason we always come back to Mass Effect. Just like the writing and the world building of like, it's such a cool concept of just our mind is different from the vessel that is our body that contains our mind and our will. But I do like just that's convenient.
So if I shot you dead right now, a Drell court wouldn't convict me?
You'd be guilty because you chose to shoot me. If my reflexes caused me to draw and fire when I saw your gun come up, I would be innocent. Humans
my reflexes are just beyond my brain.
A spirit responsible for moral reasoning that lives on after the body's death.
If someone with those sunglasses starts talking like that, leave.
The last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations. Something about sunset-colored eyes?
That time. Laser dot trembles on the skull. Spice on the spring wind. Sunset eyes, defiant in the scope. A bystander noticed my spotting laser and threw herself between me and the target. She couldn't see me, but she stared me down.
I just... Yeah, that's the thing is... Well, I remember every single assassination I've ever made, including the moments where innocent people just threw themselves in the way of my target.
What was he playing like Time Crisis or something?
That day.
You know, like Time Crisis where people just jump in the way and it's like, no, don't shoot. And it's like, get out of the way.
It's odd that you just blurted that out. Just
I
another
have to go now.
Drell
I was in a boating accident.
No. She was a vivid.
Here's the thing, Luke. If you saw like a laser sight being pointed at someone, would you jump in the way? I'd be like, fuck this.
I'm out.
I'm not paid enough.
I'm running the other way.
So I think like one of the funniest examples of that is in the first Jackass movie where they do like the stunt of falling through the ceiling. And there's that like super cool looking black dude with the dreads who just before they even hit the ground is full sprint out of the building. And they actually catch up to him and they ask him like, why did you run? He goes, I saw men falling from the ceiling. I am out. It's like they're outside filming and you see him just run down the street and not stop.
Last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations.
A bystander noticed my spotting
But,
laser
like,
and threw herself
I don't want to leave on that note.
She couldn't see me.
I have to go now.
Just, oh yeah. She threw herself in front of my target and I didn't take the shot. Okay, I gotta go.
I should get back to my duties.
Shepard, you're such a dick.
I appreciate these chats we have.
I mean, we're trying to romance him, so I'm not going to go renegade, obviously, right now. It's like, I think the right option would be that you're lonely.
I'll tell you what, though. A romance where you have to be a dick to them to romance them would be really interesting.
Yeah, like, if you could, like, for example, romance Grunt, and you had to just spend, like, multiple different conversations with Grunt, just, like, punching each other out. It would be really fun. And like I'm really hoping that this is the thing that they focus on, is like the dialogue and the morality systems and stuff in the new Mass Effect is like that's the stuff that needed to be improved upon, not the combat. The Mass Effect 1 combat is not good, but that's not why I like that game. I like the game regardless of the combat.
It's gonna be Gears of War, shut up.
Yeah, but if it's as good as Mass Effect 3's combat, or as good as Anthem's combat, because obviously that was like BioWare, if it's as good as like what is already in other BioWare games, that's fine. I want them to focus on the RPG side, and it's obviously probably maybe they've still got enough time in development. I don't know like how long ago they started work on the game, but maybe they would see fucking Baldur's Gate 3, you know, the sequel to the 2 games that they made.
Yep.
And be like, what's the one thing that everyone appreciates? Oh, the choices and the dialogue, and
they're gonna see that it's got
options.
sex in it and put tits in it.
I mean, I hope so, because that was also an appeal of Mass Effect, right?
DNA, baby.
But yeah, I really hope that just they have the time and budget to be like, well, the thing that everyone's kicking off about Baldur's Gate 3 is the stuff that we used to get praised for, of like the RPG and the dialogue and all that stuff. It's like, yeah,
just cancel it.
Because I still think Mass Effect Trilogy, in comparison to most games out there, still gives you way more chance to impact the narrative.
Oh, absolutely.
Than still games coming out like now.
The weird criticism about like the ending being one of 3 choices. It's like, okay, but you on a macro sense, yes, but on like, you know, a moment to moment thing, everyone got the experience they wanted out of the moment to moment gameplay.
And they spend the entire game doing their best to like bring up different moments and pay them off along the way. It's not just about an ending. The whole game is the ending.
It's not like, you know, their fault that 75% of players played as Paragon Soldier Shepherd.
Male Paragon Soldier Shepherd, yeah.
You've spent a lot of your life alone, Thane.
Work fulfilled me.
Which is a real statistic you can go look up, where just they were, yeah, like 70% of people just like skip straight through all the tutorials and just immediately pick the base character.
They just picked default option for everything and started playing the game as a hero. And like
similar thing happened to Baldur's Gate, where they said what we did is we just averaged out every choice made in the character select, and it's just white dude with brown hair.
Yeah.
Friend, huh? It's a start.
A start? That's intriguing. I will always be here to talk.
We're getting him. We're reeling him in. Oh, just a friend, hey? Oh, I didn't think about that. Shepherd, what are you doing to me? No, we're laying that charm on thick, is what we're doing, Thane. And that's the funny but slightly frustrating thing is when you know, take a look behind the curtain and the systems of the game and stuff, it's like the only way that we can romance him is by being nice to him. It would be fun if there was a way for Renegade Shepherd to have a way to kind of be a bit more of a maybe like cheeky kind of flirty, of like, you know, neg him a little bit.
There's only one option, isn't there? It's just
be nice, and maybe that fits the character of Thane, but it's the only way to romance any character in the game. Is just be nice to them all.
I'm gonna go grab myself another cup of tea anyway. I'm on for air. I'll leave it on. It's like still here, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
I need more tea.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I don't know much about the races, but it's like I've very rarely gone through a game where it's like just pick the human option. Like I don't think I've ever done like a Skyrim option where I was just like the Nord, because it just seems boring to me. Like, make me a dark elf. Like, I think it was one of the most fascinating ones I did was like, I'm gonna lean all the way into being like dark super vampire, and just I picked the vampire option from the DLC. I picked a dark elf, which I think they also like have benefits from being out at night or something, or they get debuffed by being out in the day. I can't quite remember. But basically compiling all of the weaknesses of like the dark elves and the vampires together in one.
Just to like basically just you see a candle and burst into flames.
Yeah, it's like the min-max spiky build of like have all of your stats in a couple of really strong things that really benefit that character, but it also brings in a lot of weaknesses that can be abused. Like, all of a sudden, just, I can't be out in the sun. And
So I
how
said,
do you
yeah, when I
work
was,
your
like,
playthrough around that?
playing Baldur's Gate, and I was
there
talking about
anything I
just
should
the
know?
amount of people the moment I started bringing it up. But immediately, like, well, first thing you need to go do is
That'll
if
be
you're playing
all.
as this
I'll be
class,
here if you need.
put
No
all your points
messages
into
for you,
these two
Commander.
stats. Everything else is irrelevant. It's like,
Ugh.
but it's a role-playing game. I don't want to role-play as a perfect, incorruptible being who never makes a mistake. I'm already that in real life.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm joking, by the way.
I didn't mean to. I knew what you were saying. I didn't mean to just like so quickly agree with that statement because it makes it seem like I'm just like, yeah, of course I am, yeah.
Who's obviously
it just took me a minute for my brain to go, wait, what did Karl just say?
You didn't realize I was joking.
Because I knew the point you were making, and then I wait, Karl just no, okay, yeah, I don't agree with that part. But
It's
yeah.
such a weird, baffling thing of like, well, you want to min-max it so all your spells work and stuff. It's like, but if I fuck, the whole point of D&D is that you fuck up and roll with it. Literally, it's got roll with it. You got dice.
Yeah, I saw someone talking about the other day. Just, well, it's interesting that every single time that I see someone talking about a D&D build, is here's how you do the most damage in one turn. It's like, but most of D&D is not just combat. Most of D&D is role playing. So surely the most broken builds are the ones where you lean into being broken outside of combat, right? Is it, why does everyone default to just what does the most DPS?
Well, that's the thing. You never even need to fight at all if you're, like, you know, a rogue. If you sneak through or you're a bard, you can just toy you out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's way more intriguing to have the idea of, like, you know, go ahead and just charm your way out of every conversation so that you don't ever need to. Like, yeah. Just big DPS build is, like, the most boring fucking way that you can do things. And unfortunately, people will min-max the fun out of gaming. Including D&D, role-playing, you know, everything. It's like, you know that this... We're doing this to have fun and not to min-max, right? It's like, yeah, but min-maxing is fun. It's the same way that we talk about compared to Pokemon. Of, like, most people just look at, like, what are the 6 most used... Like, who won the last tournament?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll copy their team because I'll win that way. It's like, did you not want to inject any element of personality into this? We did feed the fish. Don't worry. We did feed fish. Thank you for reminding us. We did make sure to go up to just the good old the shepherd's room. Like
some people, they only have fun if they win.
Why is there no sheep in shepherd's room? Well, actually, I suppose the shepherds don't live with the sheep. The sheep live below them.
The last thing you'd want if you're a fucking shepherd is the sheep in your
It's like, wait, why are you here? You're not meant to be here.
I do like, though, because we've not got Legion yet. It just looks like Zaid is not allowed to hang out with us.
We've just pushed him.
It just looks like he's not allowed to hang out with us. I feel like bringing Morinth is just exactly the same. Like, that is such a bullshit cop-out, though, isn't it? Like, I can act and dress exactly like my mom.
I have the exact same character model, and I stole her outfit. And I can mimic her voice and pretend to be like her. Like, okay,
I don't think bringing her along is actually going to give you any unique dialogue.
I just want to double check. Like,
okay,
is she 100% just Samara? Because I think it's interesting if that is the case. It's just, are we just essentially bringing Samara to the mission? I would like to test it.
And you'll get unique stuff when you have, like, direct interactions with her. Bring her and bring Maud in. He's gonna notice some muscle, right?
Do you mean the one that probably thinks all humans are the same?
Yeah, but he's like so like
perceptive. So what we're gonna do, I think this DLC is split up into multiple missions.
Your eyes every time.
You what?
Oh yeah, because she's got like the Ardat Yakshi thing. So she's got new powers.
Yeah. So her ability is Brainwash, which is just non. Ooh, that would actually be a really
Combined with
good
the
power
AI
to
one that you
steal.
have. Yeah,
Because
but
remember that the any of their unique powers you can retrain. We got the slam at the moment.
Yeah, because then you could have that on the AI one.
We
then
could
you
have
can,
the AI brainwashing and the brainwashing.
So like basically any scenario you always have a chance to take over. That would be a good one to nick, yeah.
Hmm.
So this means any scenario you've always got like, you know, the option to just delete one enemy.
Yeah.
As well, if you've got
and
her on your
there's
team, you've got
group
two.
dominate as well. So maybe if we take the enhanced dominate and we give Morinth group dominate.
Yeah.
So we'll go back. You know, next time we go to the ship, we'll just change and we'll retrain to be able to get dominate. And I hope that works. It should work. And that means we'll have the ability to take over both AI and non-AI enemies, which would get rid of a lot of my complaints of being an engineer.
Yeah, you just don't bump into the AI enough.
No. If it
Like
was
the
last
first game,
game,
that
where
would've been
when we
broken
had
stuff.
to get in the last game every mission, it was fine.
But it's kind of gutting that like the Ardat Yakshi thing is just a straight up damage boost.
I mean, they all are.
Yeah, it's like he says that she can feed off the dying. It should be like every time she kills someone, she gets a damage boost or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be that hard to like put a percentage in something. But they really, really downplayed like the cripple. Fucking hell. Cripple an enemy with pain.
Yeah.
Now get my cup of tea.
Go for it. Oh. Getting very stiff in the shoulders.
Thank God you came. My name is Dr. Gavin Arch.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause. Pause. I don't think that Karl had this before. Oh my god, we are nearly like 100% running. We are so close.
If you go like full Paragon, do your eyes glow blue?
Don't remember what happened. I think nothing happened to your face.
Yeah, it's like you look better. So at least this way you look visually interesting.
But yeah, I'm gonna, because I think this Project Overlord DLC is like a couple of missions.
What should be 40 seconds long?
So
if you just like whip out one of those floating ATVs, that'd be amazing.
I figured that maybe if we do like a mission now, and then if it sends us to another mission, we can always save that for like the start of next stream.
Yeah.
The situation is urgent. We're facing a catastrophic VI breakout.
Oh no, the AI are taking over. Wonder what that feels like. Glad we don't have to deal with any of that shit in our own life.
But you must retract that transmission dish. The controls aren't far from your position. You have to hurry.
The thing is, like, what's the jump that we have to make right now between the problem is dumbasses are trying to like use AI prompts to put out creative art, and what's the jump between that and then like Helldivers level of Skynet missions?
I don't know. Soon.
It's alright though, Karl, because it's going to be great to all join the Helldivers and all be part of the machine. I can't wait for it, because, you know, humanity deserves it.
This is a secure facility. All weapons must be declared upon entry
Yeah. It must be so weird to have made that though. I think everyone must be on the joke, and then the developers are getting like people with fucking Iron Cross avatars. Be like, yo!
It's the exact same thing of like the Warhammer people. Like,
oh, it must be so infuriating for Warhammer to do
like,
that.
They must have to sit there and constantly just be like, we're not a community full of Nazis, like, fuck off, we don't want you here.
I had to issue a statement telling people not to wear swastikas to their events.
Oh my word. Same with like Creator of the Punisher.
Oh yeah.
Where people who've written Punisher like comics and shit I remember that woman who like had written multiple like some of the best runs of the Punisher was going against like the Blue Lives Matter people with all the Punisher logos on them.
Yeah,
What the fuck do you know about the Punisher? Like, just takes a picture of like her own shelf full of books she's written, including the Punisher. Well, yeah, you just don't have an understanding of the character, clearly.
It's like the Punisher is a symptom of you failing to do your fucking job. Like, the fact you're idolizing him is you idolizing your own failure. It's a symptom of a system which you are completely ineffective in.
Oh god, the Rogue VI. Did you see the one the other day? The person complaining that someone had like stolen their prompt for AI.
Oh yeah, do look at that.
And it's like, oh well, I'm really mad because they didn't even credit me for my own work.
Well, that's like.
Wonder what that feels like.
It's gonna be so funny. They're gonna try and sue each other over it.
I stole millions of people's artwork to create like my own fake artwork, and then I got real mad when someone stole my prompt for it. Oh my god! Also, Nostradamus. Thank you. The sub. That's a good name. Nostril. Like it. It's just
people's work.
It's just such like the cathartic moment of these people almost immediately.
Oh, going back on it, yeah.
Not even go back on it, but like bringing up the exact same criticisms that artists have with AI artists, quote unquote.
It's like the one of like NFT bros being like just like laughing at people like still relying on the government and like, you know, agencies to help you. It's like Bitcoin is the future. My Bitcoin wallet got stolen. FBI help.
Please, there must be some way to like get this back. Like, it's not fair that someone was able to steal this without any repercussions.
Like, surely there's a system that allows me to like recount this. No, that's the point of Bitcoin, idiot.
Yeah, the entire point is that it's decentralized. That is the argument you were making in the entire time.
Did you read the one? It's a fantastic. I'd recommend going to track it down because it's so funny. It just typifies a very specific just kind of person, i.e. completely detached from reality, but absolutely convinced that their view and their lived experience is the default, despite being as like wholly unrepresentative of just people as a whole. And it's a woman who's like, hey, I got scammed, and this can happen to anyone, so I wrote an article about how I got scammed. And it is like, someone called up and said, I am the CIA, go to the bank, put your life saving in a shoebox and give it to me.
Fucking hell.
And like, just everyone's just making fun of them, like, this is not, oh god, just Shepard went down.
Yeah, we died.
But like,
I think, ironically, I think my AI hacked Geth betrayed me and shot me in the back. He just heard us talking shit about AI and was like, nah, man.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think it's The Cut did it. Put in The Cut shoebox full of money and you'll find it. If anyone wants to go read it. But there's a really great one. There was a woman, like a journalist who was tweeting about it, or like one of the people who wrote it or something. So this could really happen to anyone because, like, you know, it's everyone who says that they wouldn't get scammed doesn't know how easy it is to get scammed. I got scammed and I'm, like, you know, really smart. And I was like, so what happened to you then? It's like, no, anyone can get scammed. I got scammed and got my identity stolen. So what happened then? It turns out she left her wallet in a bank, like, in a bar, and they stole her identity. So that's not being scammed. It's just you were an idiot and got your fucking wallet stolen and
didn't fucking cancel all your cards immediately.
Yeah, and then the person who had a card just called her up and just like, you know, convinced her to just give money to them. So anyone would have fallen for that. It's like no one under the age of 40 is gonna like get a call from their bank, quote unquote, saying put all your money in a shoebox and put it in, give it to a guy in a car outside.
You finally are. I mean, I think you should have powers to post it in here, so feel free to.
It's a fascinating read.
You've got
It's a
loads
long one.
more powers, Shadow.
It's a long one, but that's the thing. Like, you only need to read like the first couple of paragraphs to know exactly the kind of person that it is.
That anyone who could be tricked by this one simple scam. Give me your money. Okay.
But they talk about it's like they say like the person who called them's like claimed to be the FBI. Like, do not go to the thing. I was so scared I didn't want to check it. It's like no, like you didn't think to tell your bank that the FBI is telling you to clear out your fucking savings account.
The IRS gonna get them. Like, gonna call them. I mean, that literally, like, you know, exaggerated version happens in Parks and Rec, doesn't it? Of like, oh well, my ex-wife, she's an auditor, she's the worst kind of person, and she comes in and is like, oh look, Ron, you're gonna get audited, so you need to like tell me all of your financial status at the moment. And it's like, oh, is he being audited? Well, no. I just made that part up. She just comes in and just like, yeah, mate, you're gonna get audited by me. Or like, I seen that you're gonna get audited because I work for the IRS, and like, I'm coming to warn you. Give me all your money. He's like, okay.
Like, spoilers, the IRS doesn't warn you when it's gonna do an audit.
No, but her thing was, oh no, I'm
Yeah.
coming in to warn you in advance because I've seen you're gonna get audited. Have you? Like, I'm totally here to help. Yeah, if I'm in the right mood, I do like just keeping them on the line and just. Yeah, sure, yeah. Like, I'll totally sign up to whatever this is. Like, just give me a minute. I think there was one time, I just kept somebody on the line for like 10 minutes of just like, yeah, I'm just trying to find a pen.
That's a classic.
Like, just give me. I just need to find a pen. I'm really interested. I just need to find a pen.
The other thing one is like, I think it actually was my bank calling, but I just didn't want on the principle what they were asking me to do. Like, my bank called me up because they asked for like a call back on like a mortgage meeting. I said, okay, so Mr. Small, we need you to confirm your identity. It's like, you called me. Like, no, we can't continue this call unless you can, like, you know, confirm your identity. So it was like, you called me. Like, can you not confirm my details and I'll tell you if they're correct? No.
Now, how do I know that you are?
Yeah, it's like, can you confirm your identity? Well, I'm from your bank, so how do I know that? That was the thing. He was like, well, yeah, we are. Inbound. Your bank. It's like, okay, so you know I'm me. It's like, yeah. Just the insult was so frustrating.
Oh, God.
They call me, hello, Mr. Smallwood. Can you confirm who you are? Like, you called me.
That's a power move, though. I kind of want to just like call you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like, can you
and be like,
who you are?
hi, is this Karl? Yeah, can you just confirm to me that you are Mr. Smallwood? Oh my God, these copy-paste rooms. It's funny as well, like, just, it's weird. Does anyone even, like, know or give a shit about who Master Chief anymore? Is it that bad?
I don't care.
Like, I'm a big Halo 3 and Reach and ODST fan, and it's gotten to that point, like, I give a shit about Master Chief or Halo anymore.
I don't care about Halo.
Yeah.
Like, Halo Infinite was like, just, I've never had a chub subside more quickly.
But the fact that it was like, yeah, okay, we've heard you, we've listened. The one thing we're going to make sure we put in Halo 6 is split screen co-op.
Yeah, we
okay,
think people want it.
So, we're not launching with co-op, but we're keeping our promise to you. Co-op will be in there. And then, like, a year later, is like, we've given up on co-op. Like, you acknowledge that the biggest mistake you made, and the thing that pisses off the most, was not putting co-op in. And you, to the point where you promised, the one thing you said when Halo 5 came out was like, we will put this in the game, and you didn't put that in your fucking game.
That one is dead.
I had no interest in it, yeah, immediately.
It soured me on the entire thing. I had fun when I played Halo Infinite, but the fact that you sat there and made one single promise on the feedback of Halo 5 and didn't follow through.
Yeah, it just gave me no faith in them, them as a company to handle the IP, and then just the character of just like Master Chief is not that interesting, except for in the novels. But
I mean, I don't think it is one of the easiest to implement because like you've got to develop a game that's hot, like it's literally using half the processing power.
Double the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not literally half because I guess you're rendering less on the screen, but you are rendering everything twice, albeit at maybe like a lower fidelity. But yeah, you have to account for every interaction being calculated and rendered out twice. So it's not cheap in terms of on a technical side of things on the game dev side. Which is why most people just avoid it for the sake of like, well, we can make our game look way better if it's just not in here. Like, bear in mind, even last year, the reason the Baldur's Gate didn't launch on an Xbox is because Larian were like, well, we can't get split screen co-op working. Just because of the Series S, and like, the answer had to just be, I guess for this one game, just don't worry about it. We don't need parity.
Neutralized one.
No, it's just one of those weird things of it's not easy to implement, but it's just a priority that people had back in the day, whereas now it's like, well, now we can just tell people play online with one another.
Yeah.
And
plus as well,
your games will look better.
Gone up.
It's what, sorry?
The level of fidelity required has gone up.
Yeah, and but like
the minimum expectation people have, like, remember when like games coming out and they're like not 4K, full 60 frames a second?
Mm-hmm. The priorities of gamers have changed. Of like, yeah, well, we're gonna take the piss out of a game that isn't 60 FPS anymore, and we're gonna take the piss out of a game that looks worse than fucking God of War. And it's just, yeah, priorities both on the gamer side and the developer side have very, very, like, quickly changed. Of just, well, you can all just play online now, so that's what most people are going to do, so therefore we're not going to give a shit about split screen anymore, because like, we have another option for you now. It's just get online, play with your friends online. If you can't, suck it up.
With Halo specifically, just the fact they promised it.
Yes.
And then all like the predatory like monetization stuff.
Yeah, it's like they put a half-baked game as it was, but the fact that the one piece of feedback that they promised they would work on for the next game, which specifically, we will make sure split screen co-op is in the next one, and that was the one thing that they missed.
Put them where we need them.
Yeah, I mean, I think a great recent example is just look at how successful Helldivers is doing right now. Look how many people are playing that game, and it's like, it looks good, and it runs well. Is it the best looking game I've played? No, but is it a game that runs well, mostly works apart from being like bombarded server-wise, and like, can I just have a lot of fun playing with friends? Yes.
One of the things we were talking about when we were playing it the other day is just like, this looks fine.
Like, it's not fucking God of War Ragnarok.
No,
it looks like it could probably run on a PS4 if you really wanted to. But like, it's a game that looks as good as it needs to look and runs as well as it needs to run, but it's not mind-blowing in either way.
No.
But
all the calculations in the background get done when you drop those bombs on yourself.
Yeah, it runs at a nice frame rate, like pretty consistently, and I'm able to jump on and have a really fun time with friends. Yeah, we need to play more, for sure. And like, that's the thing, is just enjoy. I'd much rather play more Helldivers than like, oh, you know, let's play Halo and it looks really nice. And it's like, I don't even think Halo looks overly like.
The other thing as well, Halo doesn't have ragdoll.
Surely it does, right?
an arm on it. It has that weird thing, Joe, when like the Spartans get killed, they do that weird like arm waving thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like Halo 3 had Ragdoll and it was amazing. Just people just like pinwheel across the environment. It was so fun.
Helldivers is just a game that came out on like PC and PlayStation the other week. Literally like a week or so ago, and it's just you know, speaking of Starship Troopers, it's like very similar of like go in and invade enemy bug homeworld or homeworlds and just shoot lots of bugs with 3 friends, and you got like just a really over the top sense of like almost to the point of parody, like, well, not almost to the point of parody, very much to the point of parody. Like, just, yeah, go fight bugs for democracy. And like, we're definitely not the problem, just going to random planets and nuking everything alive.
Yep.
And just, it's just, go fight hordes of enemies and do some silly objectives and have fun. Starship Troopers, yeah. I mean, what? 1996 film at this point of just like, again, just a super parody of like similar to Hell, like, oh yay, like, hoorah, we're space marines and we're gonna kill those nasty bugs because we're the good guys. We're gonna murder everything, yeah.
We're the villains.
Oh, Karl, there's no way that humans could be wrong.
Over here!
That's where the money went for this DLC then, onto that shot.
Yeah. And all of this has been like, don't you really want a combat-focused DLC for Mass Effect?
Explain.
No.
No, I really don't.
I want more voice acting.
It's like, oh yeah. Clearly, the aliens couldn't be the bad guys, because they look like bugs. Humans are good, because we're going out there into space and colonizing every planet and killing all of the bugs.
You have my thanks, Commander Shepard. You bought us some time, though probably not much. This isn't over yet.
Who were you again? That's how little they focus on any of the characters in this.
Who did you say you were?
Dr. Gavin Archer, chief scientist at this facility, and probably the only one left.
You owe us that explanation.
This is Project Overlord, an attempt to gain influence over the Geth by interfacing a human mind with a VI. The results have been less than satisfactory.
See, this is the kind of shit I want to see the idea of like, we're trying to take over the Geth with human VI and it's going wrong. That sounds like a cool conversation. Bring me more of that.
Yep, that's the thing. But it's almost like they don't realize the draw the universe they created.
I think that it's a conflict again of like, BioWare maybe did, but EA didn't.
Not to mention as well, like, this was on the Xbox initially, and it's like Gears of War, Halo, Call of Duty.
Yeah, this was literally like
that
2007. Era. Mass Effect comes out, and it's just come out around Halo 3, a couple of years after Gears of War, as an Xbox exclusive and on PC.
The reason the Xbox had that reputation has been like this, the bro console.
And it's like, oh yeah, a lot of the reviews for Mass Effect were like, we really like the story and the world building, but that combat's really bad.
But that's not the draw of the game. It's like all people criticizing Baldur's Gate's combat. Combat's not great. It's like, it's not about the combat, is about talking to people.
The point was, it's an RPG. It's a cool space RPG. Do you know who BioWare are? You know, people who made like fucking Knights of the Old Republic and Baldur's Gate. And your criticism of this game is like, yeah, but it's not as good as a shooter as Halo is.
Not many things can be. I did see that like the Halo devs are really salty because they pitched like a Helldivers style game and it just did not get picked up.
To serve as a test subject, but his mind.
I really hope that
VI connection.
a few people, including just Sony as a publisher, I know that
it's why you had to destroy the dish.
I think it's like Arrowhead or something who are the developers of Helldivers. They're not actually a Sony-owned, developer. They just got given some money for exclusivity. But I'd like to think as a publisher of that game, Sony going, on this Helldivers game was like really cheap, and we actually didn't market it much at all. But they just made a really, like, fun game and did what they want with it.
The only marketing I needed was just seeing someone like get a nuke dropped on him by his own teammate and just pinwheel 14,000 miles through the air. I went, perfect. Like when me and you and Charlie were playing it the other day, and it's just we were just ragdolling off the edge of a set of stairs while firing a shotgun into the air.
I think one of the most like funny moments that we've had, apart from like the glitch happening with the dropship, was
that was so good.
Which was great. But like just that moment when there was like this, mech walker coming at us, and I'm like, don't worry, Karl, I've got this, and just dive head first down the staircase, like doing a 180 mid-air and just shotgunning the thing in the back as you just watch me like jankily fall down the stairs and just like try the hero moment.
From my point of view, what I did is I just saw your guy run and just flop over a giant robot like 80-80, and then it just exploded, and then you just stood up. Or even just like the jokey stuff we were doing just to annoy Charlie, of like, Charlie's like, please guys, come help. I mean, you were like, no, we're collecting resources.
Well, like, when you set off a fucking nuke and all of us are just sitting there like doing like the super salute of like, yeah, democracy. Like, it's just such a funny, silly game. And it's got a lot of like variety in terms of like there's quite a few different mission types, and there's a lot of variety in the planets and the gameplay and stuff. But like it's quite a simple game at its heart, and it hasn't got too like ridiculous amount of content to it, but just it's like, oh hey, here's a game where it's like just you can have a lot of bullshit fun, and you can shoot your friends in the back of the head while they're not looking. And you can accidentally blow all of yourselves up. And it's just got so many fun, unique interactions that can happen.
Just like we said, just like the biome differences. Like we went to a snow planet, and we're like, oh, this snow planet's actually kind of cool.
But just the idea of like, what? Did you take any precautions
What's
here?
the worst case scenario?
A technological apocalypse.
Oh god, no.
Every machine, every weapon, every computer.
It's Y2K. We might have accidentally invented Y2K if we let this thing go out.
I remember when that was a thing.
I mean, I don't, to be honest. I remember, Simpsons doing episodes on it and shit like that, but I don't actually remember at the time people being scared of it because I was too young, I think.
All it was as well is they just didn't know what computers would do when the date inside rolled around from being 999, like 1999,
as far as I'm aware,
2000.
It was one of those things of like all of the people that are actually in tech were just like, of course we thought of this, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it was just weird conspiracy theory that just wildly went out of control.
You'd buy stickers and they'd have like, make sure you're prepared for Y2K.
Mm-hmm. I like
on there.
I think literally people did have that like Simpsons-esque idea in the head of the toaster's gonna come alive and start trying to like electrocute me.
The worst case scenario is gonna be like your microwave might just not be able to display the time and date properly.
Yeah, it might bug out and just say that like you're back in the 1900s or something.
Yeah. Like, obviously, there's probably some big issues like other computers. Like, you don't want like the clock in a government office to display the wrong time.
Yeah.
But the average consumer on the street, like, it's not going to affect you in any way. It's like I said, your oven might not, your oven might fuck up.
Mm-hmm. But just the idea that like, oh yeah, the idea just everybody in any sort of tech field was just like, this is stupid. Of course, everyone's programmed for the eventuality of time passing.
Of course, we future-proofed our devices.
Yeah. I mean, the 2012 one was just, well, a bunch of, like, like the Mayans, I think it was, like, a culture has just predicted doomsday.
Yeah, the same people who'd sacrifice, like, people and rip their heart out to get a good harvest. I'm sure they knew what the future held.
How does the lockdown work?
It's a fail-safe procedure in the event of an emergency.
What you do is you
Normally,
shoot
all
the
3
computer.
project leads have to agree
What you have to do
cancel
is
the
you have to go to 3 different places and shoot something.
I'm the only one left now.
Well, it should be.
I
There
can
should be a
give my
conversation where you've got to
authorization, but
convince
you'll
the
have to
AI not
manually
to escape.
reset the other 2 yourself.
And what happens if I have to kill your brother?
Let's just hope
I'm
it
not
doesn't
aware
come
of
to
what
that.
the end of a baton means.
I'm heading out now.
But
The other stations are all
yeah,
within
like
driving
obviously it just another
luck,
one of those
Mark.
stupid things that just got completely out of hand. Of just stupid people when, wait, what do you mean the end of the world's gonna happen? And somehow that took off in mainstream popularity. Right, okay. Oh my god, Karl. You know, we get to leave the area in a hammerhead, which implies maybe it is just 2 shitty hammerhead missions. Because, like, the Shadow Broker is actually a legitimate mission, like a legitimate DLC.
It's the one they put the effort into, yeah.
Whereas this Project Overlord seems to be like, shoot a few things and do a hammerhead mission or 2.
It really does, like, just sum up, like...
Oh, it is a hammerhead mission. For fuck's... Oh my god.
I thought you were going to intentionally crash into the wall then.
Fuck it, let's see what happens.
Keep an eye out for Cerberus security mechs. The VI has likely taken control.
Yeah, because this is what we needed more of. Whoa!
What I'd like to do is
no.
explore this cool planet.
Conditions indicate an aesthetically pleasing view nearby.
Thanks.
Organic life forms may wish to take note.
I mean, that is a cool PNG. That is a cool little background that they've made.
It's a shame you can't do anything with it, and you're driving towards a grey corridor. I think it was the other thing about Halo as well that really ended up putting me off is, like, from Halo 5 onwards, where they stopped making maps that had interesting, like, topography and biomes, and just instead made them in, like, the Forge multiplayer thing, so every map was just silver.
Oh, I mean, that was even 4, right?
Yeah, and the reason they did that is because they were trying to, like, move into, like, the MLG scene, and just when they asked those players, well, we don't like there being anything on the map that can distract you. They just made them into, like, giant featureless cubes with, like, being color coordinated. So instead of getting, like, maps like Snowbound or something, you just got a square.
Like, what do you mean that the map that we made for, like, every single Halo game was Blood Gulch? Like, surely players don't want that. They want Grey Box number 3.
And it's just that thing of, why are you catering towards an admitted minority of your audience and also the one that is the most annoying to talk to? Bring Zaid.
Fine, fuck you then.
Do it.
We'll bring
Just
Zaid.
Let's see if he's got anything to say about this DLC mission. Did they bring his voice actor back in?
Give him the most powerful Inferno grenade possible.
He might be super good, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's literally comical when it's the idea of, well, what's Halo? Well, Halo's just anything, right? It's Spartans. No, Halo is important because of Master Chief.
Is the only part of the franchise anyone recognizes.
And Halo Reach did do a good job of making a squad feel important.
And it's rough to go back to.
I can imagine, yeah.
It's rough to go back to because the characters are paper fucking thin.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine that, like, going back to both ODST and Reach probably nowadays don't feel great to go back to, but at the time, especially for the Halo series, it did feel like it was a cool crew.
I will say the ODST's like still got one of the coolest missions where it's like just fight a hunter.
Oh, just because you were almost completely helpless as just an ODST.
It feels like a threat, yeah. It feels like a horror movie. Like, you just basically, it's an entire mission. It's like a horror movie. You're getting chased by a hunter.
Yeah, because I remember when you're exploring the city of, like, Harvey or whatever. That every time you encountered a hunter, it's like, oh shit, it's a hunter.
Yeah. So you did, like, you know, it added to the universe by making you realize how strong Master Chief is by the fact, you know, just the ODSTs just could not do shit.
I like the twist of, well, you've spent all this time playing as someone that's completely OP. What does it feel like to actually be one of those ODSTs that you call into a mission that immediately dies? I like the premise.
Well, then they gave you like the silenced SMG, which is like the most broken thing I've ever put in one of the games.
Right, what is this thing?
But I do remember the mission of like sneaking around in the rain, trying to, like, you know, sneak around a hunter. That felt really fun. We're going back and playing Reach, and it's like, man, Emil is such a nothing character.
Oh, he's a dude with a skull on his helmet.
Yeah, why did he get so much play?
Because he's a dude with a skull on his helmet.
Exactly.
It was a cool cosmetic. And admittedly, it's a cool cosmetic. It's a cool, edgy cosmetic. But that's all it was.
And then as well, the Noble 6 ending of the thing as well, of just like, just survive.
I love that last mission though. Just, it's pretty fucking ballsy. Yeah, I know that avoiding molten lava is advisable. I'm trying.
Like, but I've got Zaid in here and I want to kill myself.
He's weighing me down. His attitude, just in general. That's the thing, Zaid probably has more personality than most of those characters.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's fucking Zaid.
Is after the first one dies in like the end of the first mission, and oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then the second one dies in the second mission, and oh, I see where this is going. Like just at the end of it, and they do the thing with Emil almost looks like he's about to die 4 times, and it's like he's gonna fucking die.
Well, that's the entire point, isn't it? Is that you know that if you're familiar with Halo in any remote sort of sense, it's the fall of Reach.
There's no Spartans left.
Yeah, Master Chief is the one left alive. Like, it's pre-spoilers. Like, it's why I have issues with so many prequels. Is there's no stakes because you know they're all already gone.
Did you like that when you play Halo 5 and you get 5 new Spartans you've never heard of that are Master Chief's best friends?
The secret besties he's never met.
In any game sense. Or they just keep talking about how, like, you know, Cortana is absolutely, definitely dead. It's like,
definitely unsavably dead. Like, there is zero ways that we're ever going to recover Cortana.
When you think about the Halo 3 story, it's kind of nonsense.
I mean, it all partly is, but it just definitely feels a little bit less like just, I don't know, ham-fisted when you play 1 through 3.
Playing 3 is really weird as well because you remember it being such a big game. Like, it was literally one of the biggest video game releases of all time. Like, it had an entire, I think, like one of the most expensive marketing campaigns for a video game in history.
Yeah.
When you play it and you think, half the game is not finished.
In what sense?
I remember we played through it on your channel, and just like half the game is go back through the area you've just been in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 6 missions long.
Yeah, but that was video games, right? Like,
Yeah,
welcome to playing Devil May Cry games.
But that's because Devil May Cry had no money. Like, number 4 literally had no money, so they just made you play through the game again, because they only built half the stages. Like, Halo 3 had the single biggest marketing push of anything, and just half of it wasn't finished.
Yeah. But bear in mind, it was also one of the most feature-complete games of all time.
Oh, absolutely. It had, like, multiplayer and all
the
the score.
multiplayer was really good. It had, like, the theater mode, the forge mode.
Theater mode was so fun. I remember going to theater mode, like, just when you, like, just the amount of detail that you could find of, like, every single thing that you did in every match.
Yeah, and every single play. Like, it wasn't just saving your gameplay, it was saving the entire match. So you could go around and watch an entire theater of, like, what, 16 players on Big Team Battle?
I used to love just, like, flying around in, like, theater mode, see what the hell was going on.
Do not go in here.
It doesn't matter.
But it kind of does, because we need to...
Do you? Do you want Zaid to be happy?
No. Checked it.
Do you think Morinth knows she has to pretend to be Samara? Because, like, you know, it's like he's never met Samara. He's never been party.
He never left that room since we discovered Samara. Since we recruited her. Not been outside his little bay.
God, Halo 3 was so good.
That's
There's not been a first-person shooter like that in a while. Like, that's like an event.
I mean, obviously you could argue like all of you.
Yeah, but they never like became an event. Like you didn't have people.
Not to us, but they did to other people. Like you don't actively become the best-selling video game of every single year without being some level of what event.
But I do miss the like midnight releases and stuff.
Yeah, Halo did do one of the Halos.
It might have been like Reach. Reach's multiplayer was really good.
Yeah, it was in Sheffield, so it must have been Reach.
Like, the Reach multiplayer was actually super solid. I love the Reach multiplayer. That's the one that had like the needle rifle. I'm like, this thing's terrifying. Give me five.
What's going on? I actually don't know where I'm going. Or
maybe you've got to go down here.
But this is where we came from.
Oh, is it?
Think.
As if the platforming wasn't bad enough, you got to do the platforming in a car.
Yeah.
Is there a map you can check?
No.
Your R3 button?
No.
This doesn't look like the intended path. You need yellow paint.
That's the thing. Right now, I'd really fucking like some yellow paint.
I did like that Discord so people are like, oh, it's because people are too stupid to play video games, and then you go look at their profile, and it's like they've got NFTs.
Maybe we should have just never done Project Oval.
Maybe if you die, though, it'll like point you in the right direction.
Maybe. This is bad so far. This is
not been
actively
great.
bad. Actively just...
Like, this was the era of, like, fuck it, we can charge people $5 for it.
Yeah?
We charge people $5 for the nonsense.
Yeah, but Karl, have you seen... I think it's like either $60 or $65 for horse armor in Diablo 4.
We've come full circle, aren't we?
It's like, people were complaining that shit was like $2.99 back in the day. Back in Oblivion days.
The one that I like is the... You know the Sony Splatoon knockoff?
Oh, it's like technically Square Enix, but it's on PlayStation Plus, yeah.
Yeah, there's you can one of the cosmetic packs in that is like a straight just 60 quid.
Yeah.
So I'll point out for the same price as this, you can buy every Yakuza game.
I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was like someone saying, well, for the price of buying like Suicide Squad or Skull and Bones, you could get both Power World and Helldivers right now.
I like this, but if you do not put Power World in that.
And like, you know what? It's not my type of game at all, but there's a lot of people getting a lot more enjoyment out of Power World than there is Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones is fascinating to me. The only thing I saw was that one gif of this is what like boarding looks like in it, and it's a 4-second cutscene on a loop screen. Like these guys made Black Flag. What are they doing?
Yeah. Like Sea of Thieves has existed for 5 years.
They've seen us.
You can tell it's a game that started getting made a long time ago because pirates are not cool anymore.
I don't think they're actively cool. I don't think they're uncool. I think like I don't think it's... There's not been anything to make pirates uncool. Like, for example, with Twilight with vampires, where people decided for a while they didn't like vampires anymore.
Yeah, vampires have always been awesome.
Yeah, but, like, so are pirates. And I don't think there's anything Twilight level to make, like, me think, yeah, pirates are stupid now. But they're definitely not in the zeitgeist anymore. I can't remember what else was coming at the same time. There was the... I remember watching it and everything. I can't remember what the name of it is called now, but there was that very popular Pirates TV show.
One less.
Oh, so like Pirates? Was it? Might have just been called
No,
Pirates.
I don't think it was called Pirates. I think it's something similar to Black Flag.
Vikings. Yeah, Vikings. I was going to Google pirate TV show. Let's have a look. Yeah, because that was like the era of like Game of Thrones. Black Sails.
Black Sails, that's it. I knew it was something close to Black Flag, but it wasn't Black Flag.
Yeah, there was like Game of Thrones came out, and then we got Vikings, Black Sails, and we just got a bunch of like gritty.
I think Black Sails must have been before Game of Thrones.
Nah, man, let's have a look. Black Sails. Black Sails 2014, when the Game of Thrones started coming out.
Archer has declared a project emergency. We're trying to shut down the power generators to starve the VI, but it's already hacked our automated systems. I'm ordering my people to sabotage the plan.
Game of Thrones started airing in 2011.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, just...
Yeah, no worries, Shadow. Thank you for joining.
That's the thing, you can...
Always nice having a chat.
Like that era of like... Initially it was like Spartacus, but I remember Spartacus being a thing of like, it's a really good show, but no one tried to rip off Spartacus because it almost bankrupted the company and made it.
I mean, I think maybe Game of Thrones did.
Maybe it's like the success of Spartacus. Spartacus was such a good show.
Yeah.
Just a bomb to make that thing.
And there was a lot of hanging dong.
There was. Like Spartacus was like
that's why I think like expensive, well-produced TV show that's set in kind of like a period piece and has a lot of naked people. So that sounds a lot like Game of Thrones to me.
Yeah, Spartacus is so good. Like, every now and again I think about going back and watching it. Like, it's a shame like the main actor died.
Really don't like how much this just really annoying noise keeps happening, because it's like, oh yeah, but you got to remember that this is like the evil Overlord VI version.
You can tell me shut up.
Like, but it just it sounds real aggressive in my headphones. Just we decided every 10 seconds you really need to hear just the most horrific sound you've ever heard, so that we can remind you that this is the horrible VI, the nasty VI. Ooh, brutal.
Oh, there was a great story earlier.
What is this Met doing?
Whatever it wants.
Go on, Zaid. Do what you do best and just murder things without saying a word. That's right. That's the Zaid I know and love.
Greatest mercenary ever.
Override of Atlas Station lockdown accepted.
There's a statistic reveal.
The noise is so horrible.
I can't hear it though because I'm
you,
always
Doctor.
watching on this end.
We've hit the
Yeah.
override at Vulcan Station and are moving on.
Fuck that, mate.
Shepard out.
Nah, they've got more. Build another one.
Right.
Yeah, more hammerhead missions. The thing is, that's a cool design for a ship. It's a shame it controls like an absolute dog.
So, Karl, we've got one mission left. Let's leave that for next time.
Let's just never do it.
Let's just... I mean, there might be... I've got to
It's just going to give you element 0. They
I've
always
got to
give you
hold out
element-
hope that there's, like, some fucking, like, reward at the end of this Yellow Brick Road and not just an illusion.
It's just going to give you element 0.
They've got to give me some amount of stuff. I can't even save right now.
For a second as well, I thought like the distance thing was the date and you've gone back in time to 1992.
So, I've reverted all the way back into the uterus, Karl. I don't want to do this anymore.
Threat detection. Enemy units nearby.
Oh god, I'm literally not allowed to save right now.
It's forbidden.
It is the forbidden tech. Please, I just want to get out.
I never anticipated that anyone would not want to do it. Like, do you think as well, the People who made like Arkham City watched this and went, "Man, we could make this so much worse."
What by making Suicide Squad?
I meant like the Batmobile.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe this does control better than the Batmobile in that game.
I think that is there a mechanic you can think of from a video game that is as universally disliked as the Batmobile? Because like, remember how much like people were excited to play as the Batmobile? Like, oh my god, the Batmobile, we get to drive around. And then like just the moment everyone got hands on it, it's like, I'm sick of the Batmobile. Oh, 5 more remain.
Oh.
Too bad gameplay.
Oh, don't make me. Oh.
So go collect some Riddler trophies.
You know what I want to take note of? How fucking terrible this has been.
There's nothing to do.
No. It is just like, let's pad out the game with DLC that's just combat and Hammerhead. Like, what do you mean the two non-enjoyable things in the game? Right, just doing this. It needs to happen. We need to just go ahead and end as soon as possible. So now I'm going to regret it, because that means that next time we have to finish this.
Yeah, but it's as well just having your teammates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't even matter which teammates you bring in. They couldn't even like get them to record anything new.
No. There's hopes of a scene here. Probably should. Oh. Oh.
Is anything fun gonna happen? It's not gonna be fun, is it?
Like, how do we make the player spend an extra couple of hours in our game with just zero budget?
That thing like is a more blatant example like padding a scene. This is pretty bad. I'm trying to think of like a more just obvious case, like the game's not long enough.
I know it is. What do I have to do?
Shoot that.
The shield generators have shields around them.
That's pretty good. We'll find the shield generator for the shield generator.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. I think it was.
It was like a. Oh, maybe get that to
destroy
destroy
we're just
them.
dead. Cool.
Oh. Maybe get the big turret to aim at the smaller things.
Yeah, maybe.
Commander Shepard, Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full
All I
of
can think when you're doing this though is like Grunt's in there and he's not enjoying it.
He's not. Just send one out.
It's like when we first played Helldivers and it was like the giant turret Saturday night. Like my first mission was me getting annihilated by that turret. Yeah, just like try to take the turret and hide behind like the thing, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have put those there.
Wait a minute. Jesus.
Do you like waiting around? Do you like waiting around not doing much?
You barely have time to out the fucking day as well.
I wanted to home in.
Oh no. Oh no. Blocking my screen with sausage. No. Like, if you want to watch more of this, go be my guest. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh Jesus Christ!
Warning, we are being targeted. Shields disabled. You may now target the Geth cannon.
Shield D's not.
Warning, Geth cannon is locking on our location.
Got him, let go.
No further threats detected. Entry into the
This
ship
looks
is
like some
now
great
clear.
gameplay.
Like them.
And what you should have as well is you should have the option to like change the color of your
Nobody
little ship.
left but us.
Yeah, no, he's just deployed the sausage. That's the sausages would have been a better defense. If all of a sudden they sent out just a bunch of guard dogs, it probably would have been more useful.
These Red Letter Media who do like a piss take film like pitch of like, do you know they always have like dangerous dogs? Like imagine there was just a pitch and it's just called like 1,000 Chihuahuas. That doesn't sound scary, it's one Chihuahua, but then imagine 1,000.
Oh, imagine taking on a billion lions.
A billion lions. Let's go. Unstoppable, like 1 billion lions coming in.
What would win? A billion lions or the sun?
Was the idea just the massive lions?
This Rogue VI is horrible. Just who decided that what we should do is just put a horrible noise inside of your ears every time you want to do that?
Go fight some lions.
I honestly just thought it would be like, here's a conversation with this Gethel.
Well, no, because you've got to do some bad gameplay.
Now, I definitely hate this DLC.
Is there like a DLC that you like really dislike then?
I mean, this.
This, yeah, but like, can you think, like, I think of like, as much as I love Revengeance, like the Revengeance DLC is fucking dire.
That's the thing, probably quite a few, but the ones I dislike, I've just forgotten about.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's probably just been like, here's some just shit generic stuff, like...
Was there anything like egregious that sticks out in your mind?
Not off the top of my head. Don't remember why, but like my brain had to get. I don't remember there being any DLC for Gears of War.
I always liked the map pack where it was just the Discovery Channel gave you a free map pack. I always thought that was like such an interesting idea, and then no other company ever did it.
I guess like
such an interesting,
similar.
Like,
Doritos did Crash Course.
Yeah, that's the thing, but we never really got that ever again.
No.
I always thought it was such a good idea of like a marketing tool of, hey, here's a really popular video game that people really like. Would you like to just sponsor the DLC so every player of the game just gets an update that says, hey, do you like this game? Here's some free stuff.
Remember, the Discovery Channel's great. Here's some free maps.
Yep. And then now every time you play those, and just like a million people who play Gears of War wake up and go, oh cool, the Discovery Channel just gave me a free...
Thanks, Discovery Channel, yeah. Ooh, some of the Fallout Vegas and the Fallout 3 DLC was pretty shit, yeah. I remember really disliking the very... Oh! Why did they make it such a horrible, loud noise?
It's more as well, it just seems to be getting louder.
Yeah, every time. There was the very first Fallout 3 DLC that was like, oh, let's, like, kill Chinese soldiers, and it was just like Fallout 3 combat-based DLC.
Oh, that was great.
Like, Broken Steel was pretty cool, but, like, the very, very first one. And it was just like... Again, similar to Mass Effect, of like, who really decided that the focus here should be the fucking combat?
Like,
it's not your strength. Why are you leaning into it? Because it's cheap to make. Operation Anchorage. There was some real bad Fallout DLC. I remember with Dead Money specifically that the reviews for Dead Money were really good, and I was quite excited to play it. And then I played through it and just was like, "Well, this was a fucking disappointment."
Too late. Now you're dead.
Attention. This is a Geth stasis alert. Neural activity detected in nodes 1 through 6.
And the idea of like a VI taking over the game, it could be really cool. Just this entire DLC instead has been like, hey, don't you love the combat?
Shields have failed.
I kind of respect the idea though of like just them not realizing the, as I said with Batman Arkham City. Imagine if they said we're going to do some Batman Arkham City DLC. It's like 100 new race courses for the Batmobile.
Oh well, they did that.
The balls to do that would be actually kind of funny.
There was part of the season pass was like, here's a lot of costumes, here's a lot of racetracks for the Batmobile.
That's
and then
amazing.
like the
I didn't
final
realize
thing.
they did that. I was joking.
Yeah, they did do that. And then the final DLC for Arkham Knight was actually like a very cool, like, here's a few villains that have come together and stuff and done extra. Yeah, like they were literally paid for Batmobile race courses.
That's amazing. The worst part of the game by more. They should have done like just got paid to get more Riddler trophies. That would have been so funny.
And specifically as well, you can't get the final ending without getting the DLC if you buy them.
Of course you can.
Like, I would love it if they did that. Of just, not only do you have to find 400 Riddler trophies or whatever it was, but you buy the DLC Riddler trophies, you can't get the proper ending without them as well.
Yeah, so I want the Riddler now.
That was egregious. When the game was like, the Riddler had like Catwoman held hostage or something. Can't quite remember, but it was like, oh, you know, do some challenges, and you'll get unlock like the next part, and then wait until the next part of your story, and you'll unlock more. And then almost as if out of nowhere, it's like, get every single Riddler trophy, or you won't be able to do the last mission, the last part of this Riddler thing.
Actually incredible. Like, why would I give a shit? It's like, go over and just shoot.
It was the moment I decided to stop playing the game. All of a sudden, the game went from, oh well, this is an achievable amount of progress that I need to make, to fuck off.
Is that the game as well, where you just deploy Poison Ivy? So I remember there's like one of the games where like you go rescue Poison Ivy and you just put her in the back of the Batmobile. Which game was that?
That might have been Arkham Knight. I don't remember that.
Is that the one where you just pull up and you just put her in the back of the Batmobile, but there's like a special containment thing and she got to
yeah.
Like Poison Ivy is like one of those fascinating villains where the longer the series has gone on, the more everyone is just like, no, Poison Ivy is completely 100% right.
Yeah.
She's never wrong. She is always right in everything she's in. It's like, stop fucking poisoning the planet, you arsehole.
Our argument is always just, don't destroy planet Earth.
And then when they say, oh, it's just plants, it's like, but she can literally hear them screaming. The Mr. Freeze one where the plan is to stop global warming and repopulate the Earth with plants. And it's like, they're the villains.
Yeah. The bad guys are the eco-terrorists.
It's
They're
such a
trying
wild
to save
thing,
the planet.
Going back and watching old media where like they always put like the character who is meant to be mocked is like the environmentalist or the vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, caring about the environment? What a pussy.
There we go. Complete mission.
Leave.
Stop. Please stop this.
Oh, it's called as like mission 1 of 8. Even the elusive man's bored, look.
Mr.
Is that his name?
It is one I forget what his name.
It's Martin Sheen. It's Martin Estevez, sorry, give him his real name.
It is. I still love the interviews with Emilio Estevez where it's like, yeah, you know, I decided to like move on from my dad's name, and he always said he was embarrassed that he didn't use his real name. And he always says he regrets it in real life, and don't Sheen as like a name because you'll regret it for the rest of your life, and like don't just use it for association with me. And it just hard pan to Charlie Sheen being like, yeah.
The thing is that you got to like Martin Sheen, like, you know, you can just change your name back, right? You're famous enough now if you just say, can you call me Martin Estevez?
I mean, but they can't. Like, that's eliminating branding and
yeah, I guess
name
so.
recognition for like 30 years.
Like Martin,
well, probably way longer than 30 years at this point. I mean, yeah, that's always the joke. Yeah, just Batman beats up like doctors and mentally ill people.
Yeah, but he's technically mentally ill himself, so...
Yes, yes, he is. Very, very strongly mentally ill.
It's kind of circular at that point.
It's mentally ill people beating up the mentally ill.
Poison Ivy is just a very fascinating like case study of just... She was invented at a time when it was okay to mock that idea, but that's the longer the, like, you know, the series has gone on, it's like she's always right.
Mm-hmm.
She's never wrong in any scenario where she's like featured. Because her argument is just don't fucking pollute the planet. So there's no way to argue against anything she's saying. She's always right. Like, are you just using this as an opportunity to just level up your teammates?
I mean, everyone levels up anyway, but like, it just let's use some people we haven't used for a while. Here we go. So this looks like it might actually have the potential of being a mission.
There might actually be some gameplay.
By gameplay, I mean not gameplay.
Looks like you're in, Commander. Good. I'm getting some
Because the most annoying part of all of this so far has just been they keep trying to make me play the game and not just talk to people. So absolutely, let's just save the rest of this shit show for next time. I'm just so done at this point. It's like
you're gonna be so mad when you boot.
I've just spent nearly like an hour on just Mass Effect's combat and Hammerhead. It's like, isn't that fun, folks? And remember that people praised the DLC for Mass Effect 2 at the time, and Lair of the Shadow Broker is also has quite a bit of combat, but it is like actually got a beginning and end and conversations to the story, and like a kind of cool revelation to it. So at least that DLC is there with like some legitimacy, but it just reminds me of the Mass Effect 1 DLC of, yeah, okay, we're gonna have 3 lines of dialogue and an hour of just going around and shooting mindless enemies. And they literally do the thing where it's go and find multiple bases, empty out the base, and then finish the end.
Ah, it sounds good though.
It's just so boring and contrived. Your game is better without this. It really is.
I don't know. Is it?
Is it? Question mark, question mark,
like, Lucas,
question.
is that where they can put on the thing that was like more hours of gameplay?
This season pass contains like 8 missions. 8 brand new missions, 8 of which you won't want to play.
It's like that bit in like the American Office, isn't it? Of like, oh, I'm responsible for shifting over 8 billion units. Like, what's a unit? A piece of paper. So it doesn't make it sound better.
It's just that classic season pass, especially early season pass thing of we need to put the numbers up. We need to make sure that people have content for this season pass. You thought about if the content is fun? No. Number be big. That's what people like. Tell people that this season pass has gameplay hours in it.
This thing, like, no, stop it.
Can you tell me how many fun hours I will get out of your season pass instead? Let's quantify it that way. Oh, dear. Right. Well, we'll finish this shit show and move on to the actual good DLC next time. We Lair of the Shadow Broker. I will finally, after like...
I get to see it. I've never going to play it.
Yeah, and aren't you sad that you didn't get to play this one as well, Karl?
Oh, man, I'm so gutted. I can't... Thing is, though, when I was, like, you know, an edgy teenager, I'd probably like...
Oh, yeah, the combat mission. And we'll finally get back to just 20 hours later. Liara, bear in mind, she was our romance option in the first game, gave us a mission just at this point, probably weeks ago in actual Mass Effect time. We're like, maybe we'll get round to it. And she's just like, Shepard, I thought you loved me and I thought you were dead. And the first thing you've done when I've come back and asked for help is just abandon me.
It's like, you know what? I got better.
Hopefully I will get better after that. Just...
You're going to get worse, mate.
Rinsing. The rinsing of my brain that was that DLC so far.
There's just nothing to it. There's nothing.
Nothing. It's just a nothing burger. But yeah, thank you all for joining. Apologies for putting up with that. I remember people saying the Mass Effect 2 DLC was good, but I guess like all they remembered was Lair of the Shadow Broker at the end.
It just seems like that basically just carries so much water for the rest of this. Like, just absolutely just nothing.
Yeah, so we'll see what the good DLC is like next time on Mass Effect
I'm
Monday.
curious about that because you know, I've heard good things. Like, I'd always heard, but I just could never afford the 15 quid.
Yeah, like I couldn't afford the DLC when this game came out. I was scraping by just to buy the game, let alone get any extra DLC and stuff. So it did take me a while. I think I played through Lair of the Shadow Broker for the first time when like I was at a friend's house who had bought Mass Effect Trilogy on the PS3 or whatever.
Oh, you had to play with our male Shepard and like, oh, fuck this.
Thank you all for joining. I'll be back next Monday with more Mass Effect Mondays. I'll be back tomorrow with Zelda Link to the World. On Thursday with competitive Pokemon battling Scarlet and Violet, doing some ranked battles.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to see so many Urshifus.
Oh, the most Urshifus. The legendary Urshifu, so legendary, everyone's got one.
Thank you all for joining. Everyone has a lovely day, evening.
Cheers, everyone.